What it do? What it do? It's your boy, boy, the Juice. My name is Troy Bradshaw, but you could just call me the Juice. Um, really, I got on tonight because I wanted to talk about the Rose Canyon Lake. We were watching a video earlier at Nancy's with Sleuth Intuition. For whatever reason, the person that reached out to him decided to reach out to Sleuth Intuition. For whatever reason, he chose him. So we'll get there. I want to talk about that. But first, I want to kind of just talk about what took place at Nancy's today. I had some sheriffs roll up on me. I made a big mistake. So we gotta talk about that. I'm gonna play the video and we'll just kind of talk about it as I go through the video here. It's getting real tight out there, guys. It's getting real tight at Nancy Guthrie's house. They are just really shimmering down on all of the rules that have been in place. And cops are serious, so if you decide to go there, just make sure you don't go on anybody's property. I personally made the mistake by going and using somebody's porta potty, which was a not so bright idea. Sheriff rolled up on me, told me not to do it again. Long story short. So we'll play that. We'll talk about that real quick, and then we about to go ahead and just dive right into this video. I fell asleep last night. We were watching Sleuth's Intuition's video with this guy who goes by the name of, I believe, it's Richard Nolet. I don't know. Everybody's been talking about Rose Canyon Lake for the past 2 days, so we finally got to talk about it at this point. But anyway, let's play this video real quick.
I'm thinking we should start walking over to this porta potty, though, because I really got to go to the bathroom pretty bad.
So upon arriving to Nancy's, I had to go to the bathroom already, and I should have just had my girl take me to like a local store in Nancy's general, in the general area of Nancy's neighborhood. There's some stores on the outskirts near like Campbell and Skyline, and I should have just had her come back, or I should have went before I came. But me being me, I had a sense of urgency to just get on stream and come out to Nancy's. So I didn't, and I ended up using one of the porta potties that they've been at one of the abandoned homes that they've been talking about. So.
And I don't know how much longer I can withstand and sit here and hold it. I've been holding my pee for 2 hours now, almost. So maybe I should go over there. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna make it. Should we go use the porta potty, guys? I think we should. Let's walk over here. I'll continue the video in a second. I'm gonna take a chance here, guys. So look out for me. I'm gonna take a chance here, though, because
Hold on, child. Let me refresh this.
Telling you that you gotta leave or anything. I mean, you were asking earlier.
Let me reset this real quick. And then we'll go back to that. All right.
So that was super close. Back. And I don't know how much longer I can withstand and sit here and hold it. I've been holding my pee for 2 hours now, almost. So maybe I should go over there. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna make it. Should we go use the porta potty, guys? I think we should. Let's walk over here. I'll continue the video in a second. I'm gonna take a chance here, guys. So look out for me. I'm gonna take a chance here, though, because I really got to use the bathroom, and I don't want to make any neighbors upset by peeing out here anywhere. So we're gonna go for it. Forget it. I'm not gonna sit out here holding my pee, and I'm not gonna pee.
So big welcomes those of y'all tuning in. Portia, welcome back. Lady J for life. Welcome Leah. Welcome guys. Good to see some familiar names in the chat. Kim Jones, welcome, man. Finn Fan, welcome guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. This was actually earlier today, maybe like around 4 p.m. It's 1 in the morning now, so yeah.
In somebody's yard.
Actually, this was probably around 5, about 5.
We're gonna go
4 or 5.
because I really got to go pretty bad. So if we're going to continue to stay out here, that's going to be the only way. So we may have to do that.
Well, anyways, I had to use the restroom, guys. I had to go. I couldn't hold it no longer. I didn't feel comfortable using the restroom in, you know, in somebody's yard or just anywhere out there. You know, I didn't want to get in trouble. So I feel like it was in my best interest to use the porta potty. So I started walking over to the porta potty.
I see somebody standing down here, though, so I don't know if that's going to be a good idea, guys. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know if we should go pee over here. Oh. I don't know. Well, that guy just sped by. He must have not liked me out here. They don't own the porta potty. All right. You said it. I'm gonna fix my tripod for a second. I'm trying to hurry up because I'm just gonna go straight in, come out.
So if you ever go to Nancy's, don't do this. This was really dumb, by the way, let's just say.
And walk right back. So I'm walking kind of fast, guys. Hurry up and do this. I have no other option, so. Yeah, like somebody said in the chat, exactly. I think we're getting closer. And I'm just gonna leave the tripod like on the road and just go use the bathroom. Yeah, because I'm at a point where I really can't hold it anymore, guys. I can't. So we're just gonna sit this down and go.
By the way, this is probably the most dumbest idea I did too, was I had the camera facing the porta potty so you could actually see me going to the porta potty. You know what I mean? But I thought about playing it off and acting like I didn't go to the porta potty, but it was like, you know what? Nah, let's just be honest, because somebody probably already saw us. It's more likely that more than one person saw me, like, because when I was headed toward the, I don't even know if it was clear enough to get that. But exactly. Before I got to the porta potty, there was like a lady down the street. Yeah, my camera's just not clear.
I'm trying to hurry up, fix my tripod.
And there was also
he must have not liked me out here.
Yeah, you could see that lady. There's a lady walking in the middle of the road right there. And I think she kind of stops there and goes in one of those houses on the left-hand side. So, just a dumb idea. Don't do it. So I go in, use the bathroom, of course. Just fast forward from here.
We're like, I did it wrong. Look at it, really is.
And I just felt it, like I had a feeling. And then this car, by the way, when I was walking back, let's go back real quick. I just realized it watching the video. But this car was slowing down the entire time. We weren't even nowhere near Nancy's. Well, we were down the street from Nancy's. We're close, but obviously there's no memorial site right there, and he's already braking. So I take it either this neighbor that was walking in front of me saw me, or the neighbor that was next door to that abandoned house saw me, and she got in her car, and she maybe wanted to get a closer look at me and identify me a little bit more to, maybe because she was making a phone call to the police.
This close from peeing on myself, literally. That was bad. My sport.
So you notice they're still braking as we're going back
like
to Nancy's. Good. And then I finally noticed.
Don't do it again. Yeah, you're right. Somebody's stopping down there.
Why isn't my chat working?
Why are they stopping? They're not even at the memorial site. They're like right before it. Okay, it is a cooler day out here. We had to use the restroom real quick. We're good. It is kind of cold. I'm gonna actually button up this jacket because I'm getting pretty cold.
So anyway,
Did it wrong. Look at
I go sit down.
Let's hope nobody calls the cops on us. We just really did something
this
bad
point,
right now. Oh God.
I'm like regretting it. Within probably like what, guys? 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes at the most, sheriff rolls by.
Like we legit.
Mind you, at this point, we're like 2 hours into the stream. I've already like held my pee. I told y'all when I got there to Nancy's, I had to pee. So I'm holding my pee for probably at least 2 hours at this point. Yeah, 2 hours have gone by.
It just did something bad. I feel bad. I feel like I shouldn't have did that. 68 cold, that's funny. It's cold enough for me. I'm not used to 68. 68 is cold for me in Arizona. I'm not used to that type of weather. I can't even button up my jacket. Let me put this camera down. We gotta finish listening to this video. That was good. Maybe we should just listen to it tonight. I'm trying to get my tripod set up, guys. Hold 1 second. Guys, I literally almost peed on myself right now. Oh my goodness. Joanne says, what you doing wrong? I went on somebody's property yet. I don't think I'm supposed to do that. Unless I was going to knock, but.
And thanks to whoever was in the chat trying to warn me, because there was some people trying to warn me not to do it. You know, I seen a couple people say don't do it, and lo and behold.
I just used their porta potty. It's not my porta potty. Guys, don't forget to like the video if you're tuned in right now. Give the video a thumbs up. Let's hit 1K. Let's get the video to 1K. I think.
Yeah, that part. So speaking of that part, make sure you go ahead and do that right now if you're watching this video here with me.
The last couple days we've been out here, we've been able to hit 1,000 likes. We are not leaving until we hit 1,000 likes, guys. We got to hit 1,000 likes tonight. And I think
let me skip up a little bit.
I'll continuing. Hey, chat. What do we say? Up. We got a sheriff, guys.
I was panicking
I'll
at this
continue
point,
to, like I said, trying to keep.
I really wasn't.
We got a sheriff, guys. I'll try to keep continuing putting the public awareness out there and keep covering the Nancy Guthrie case. I think somebody called the cops on me, guys. We're going to jail. Oh God. What do we say, chat? What do we say? Tell me what to say. What do we tell them? Oh shit. Even the lady, look at the lady. Oh shit. You lady like, oh snap, I got drugs on me.
Was it me? Or is that lady holding her? Is that lady over there holding her heart too? Like, you know, like walking like this. I feel like the lady was kind of like holding her heart, like her breath was taken away herself.
Oh shit, please. Oh shit. You lady like, oh snap, I got drugs on me. Oh shit, please no. Oh my God. Yep. Even the lady, look at the lady. Oh shit. You lady like, oh snap, I got drugs on me. Oh shit, please no. Oh my God, dude, my heart is pounding right now. Oh. I gotta stop coming to Nancy's. I gotta stop coming here. How you doing?
Fine, how are you?
I'm all right.
Nice lady that passes by. The sheriff goes by. Lo and behold, it looks like, I mean, well, it doesn't look like. It is going to be like. The sheriff passed by as if, you know, I think he was just trying to get a look at me, trying to maybe see who I was. I'm not too sure. Or, you know, you'll see right now. He was obviously waiting for his partner.
Nice lady. Whew. Oh my God, guys.
It's not funny, but it was funny. Just my reaction was funny. I wasn't laughing about the situation. I was just laughing because of how I was reacting to the sheriff after going and using the porta potty, by the way.
Ah, I'm sitting here like, I don't even know what to think right now, dude. My mind is everywhere right now. We shouldn't have did that. We really shouldn't have did that. I guess I should have just peed on myself at this point. No, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. Oh man. Somebody clip that. That was a crazy moment, man. That was really a crazy moment. We're good. We're good. That was crazy
So
though.
we'll fast forward a little bit.
Uh-oh, guys, hold on. I sat down out of nowhere.
So within like
I
3
literally
minutes,
sat down.
they're
Uh-oh, guys,
back.
hold
He
on.
comes up. He puts his
sat
lights
down
up.
out of nowhere
Puts his lights on this time.
because uh-oh.
And then his buddy pulls up
I had sat
right
down
on the
out of
other
nowhere
side.
because they're pulling up on me. So it's multiple officers out here. That neighbor just walked by and looked at me crazy. How you doing?
Good, partner. How are you?
I'm all right.
Hey, can I don't want to end up ruining your thing.
Oh no, you're good. I'm just
So I don't think the cop was trying to be respectful. I'm gonna be real. I think that he was trying to not be on my camera. I don't think he was like trying to, you know, be respectful of the audience.
hanging out.
Do you privately over here for a second?
Yeah.
So
sure.
I regret not taking the phone over there the first time because y'all could have heard everything. That was dumb. Or I should have just made him talk to me right there, as I did the second time he came up and approached.
Hold on.
Oh yeah. Don't stay
I want
connected.
to pull that
Cool
thing down.
cops, though. They were cool. Somewhat. This was earlier today. So if you want to watch the whole thing, you can go watch it. I'm just kind of just recapping the day, talking about it. So this is earlier. By the way, prayers to those dealing with any tornado storms right now. I hope nothing happens. I hope everything's good. For those who are dealing with the tornado storms, I'm hearing some people got some tornado storms going on. I heard that actually earlier. There was a tornado storm in several different areas. So prayers, guys. I hope you're good. Michigan, dang. So it's pretty much like all on the East Coast. I'm taking it, or in certain areas on the East Coast. So at this point, I'm talking to the cop over there right now. He's telling me, he's telling me that, well, first of all, I was honest. He was just asking about me going into the yard and using the. He already knew what I did, and I was honest with him. He asked for my ID, asked for my address. That's pretty much all he asked, and then we just had that small conversation about the area. I told him I had to go to the restroom really bad, that I had been holding it since I got there, and I didn't have a car, and I didn't feel comfortable just walking up on somebody's yard and then, peeing in their yard. And he agreed that wouldn't have been an even better idea. So, took it upon myself to go to the porta potty, and I got the results real quick. So I asked him while we're talking during this time too. I believe I said, would you like me to leave, or will I be kicked out? And he said that he wasn't sure, that he needed to talk to his chief of police. He already had told me that, but then after asking that, I gave him, I pretty much told him that I wanted to stay another hour. Well, I did. I told him I wanted to stay one more hour, then I was going to get out of there. And I pretty much gave him like a slight little ultimatum. I said, do I have to leave, or, will I be kicked out? And then, are you guys okay with me staying another hour? Because I was going to leave in another hour. I don't know if you guys are kicking me out or not, but he pretty much was like, just wait. We're going to talk to our chief of police. But before he said that, he was like, yeah, I think you should get a ride. Because I asked him also if I should get a ride, and he agreed to that out of all the other options. But he said I was fine regardless. I wasn't going to more than likely so be kicked out. So that was good. I was just more concerned about possibly getting a citation. But I was also concerned about being kicked out too at the same time, because I didn't know. After listening to JLR and Alex earlier, I wasn't sure if they were enforcing something new in the neighborhood, because it seemed like they were leaning toward, just getting rid of the media, period. And then just recently they had the HOA meeting. So, yeah, we've been kind of really worried whether or not there were going to be some more changes. And I was skeptical going over to Nancy's today whether those changes just took place. So he tells me he's got to go call the chief of police. So I just kind of take a seat, talk to the chat for a minute.
Watch pulled up. That was a really bad idea, chat. That was a really bad idea. I don't know if I should call for my ride. They said that they're going to call the chief of police and go from there. And like I said,
so I thought this was the most weirdest part right here. Because, I'm sitting right here and I'm just kind of casually waiting for him to just let me know what we're going to do pretty much moving forward. And then the officer gets in his car and then drives away. And I'm like, they're really going to go to the porta potty. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're going to go straight to the porta potty and then, see if I did anything illegal in there, I'm guessing. Or they went over to the porta potty to see if I actually peed.
Beginning, but now all of a sudden it's a very big thing.
So at this point, he's holding me up over nothing. You see, there's a car on the side of the road at this point. As I was talking to the officers, the neighborhood watch pretty much pulls up, and she pretty much insists that she needs to know what's going on. All she says is, "Hi, I'm the neighborhood watch," and was like trying to, and he's like, "I'll come talk to you right now." So I knew he was going to tell the lady that was the neighborhood watch what was going on, but he didn't do it right away.
Yeah, really weird. I think he's going to go over there and check the porta potty. Maybe he thinks I went in there and did something in there, but he's going down the road to, do whatever, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they think I went in there and did something in the porta potty. They're really being kind of a little extra, but they're cool cops. They've been nice. Yeah, just should have never did that, chat. Chat's going crazy right now. I can't even read chat right now.
That was really embarrassing, guys. That was pretty dumb.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens, guys.
But I'm glad I did it. I did it for y'all, so that way. Well, I didn't go to the porta potty for y'all, but I'm just glad I was able to get that for y'all, because now we know how serious they are in the neighborhood. And I know Alex was one of the people who went over and used the porta potty. So he kind of gave me that hope and confidence that I would be fine using the porta potty. And I also learned after watching JLR stream, shout out JLR, because he's the one who said that he would pay for my ticket if I got a ticket. And I appreciate that a lot, and as much as I do as him sending new viewers over to the channel. That was cool as well. But yeah. I also learned that construction workers gave us permission to use the porta potty, but at the time of making contact with police today, I wasn't aware of that until now. So
see what happens. So if you ever come to Nancy's and you got to use the bathroom real bad, learn from Juice. Do not go into anybody's yard. Don't use anything in their yard. Get a ride. Go to the bathroom near the neighborhood. Don't go on anybody's property. It's not good, and it's not going to end up good, obviously, because you see where I'm at right now. We got 2 sheriffs pulled up, and now we're waiting to see what they're going to do, what's next. But I'm not really worried about much besides the citation. So we'll see what happens. I was straightforward with these guys, though. I was honest. I didn't lie. I could have denied it and say I didn't use the porta potty, but there was no.
By the way, that lady is parked there illegally at this point. As a neighborhood watch, she should not be allowed to sit there. They should have took her phone number and then called her on the phone and let her know what was going on. There was no need to wait there. It wasn't all that serious of a scene. But yeah, they definitely, since they're so serious, you know, they should have told her that she couldn't park there, just like everybody else. Just saying.
No need for me to lie.
And that's just me being an asshole, okay? I really don't care, but I'm just saying.
Obviously, somebody saw me, and it's right here on stream as well. I don't know if these guys are watching the stream or somebody reported me, but I'm sure somebody reported me. I honestly think that cop went down to the porta potty to see if I actually used the bathroom. I don't know how well Sue Ellen can see from up there, or she has cameras pointing down right here, but it could have been her. It's a possibility. It was
yeah,
her.
I'm not too sure who like reported
No
me or
one's parked in the
anything or
street.
called
It's
the police
the
on me, but
officer
somebody
here.
definitely did.
And then that was the neighborhood watch that was parked just a second ago. She had arrived while I was talking to the officer, and she had asked him what's going on, and then, you know, he obviously told her. So, but he told him to give us a minute, but I'm sure he let her know what was all going on.
So anyway, I'm gonna speed through this. We'll fast forward. We don't need to see the whole entire video. You can go watch it. It's on my last video I did today. And it's funny because the caption actually made sense today. Well, I try to make sense when I'm doing the headline. And it actually said they don't want us here anymore. And then come to find out, it just seemed like that today for whatever reason. It's just funny how things work, right?
Put your phone in your pocket if he takes you to the side. Yeah, I'll take it with me this time just to, you know, let everybody hear the conversation, I guess. Yeah. I mean, do we have to go over there, or can you guys?
Yeah, so I think the cop just didn't want to be on camera. He's telling me to go back over there by his car so I could talk to him. But I'm like, dude, can we just talk right here? Like, you know, I was just like, I don't want to walk back over there for no reason. I got people here watching. They want to see what's going on. I want them to see what's going on.
Just talk to me here.
I just don't want.
You don't want what?
I
No, you're not messing up anything, or I could take it with me. I just kind of want to record for my own purposes.
Yeah, no.
If that's okay with you guys.
No, just don't go on. Don't go on. You know, property you don't got proper permission to be on. Okay.
Cop.
We're not telling you that you got to leave or anything. I mean, you were asking earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody in the neighborhood is really concerned about people being where they don't belong.
They're not concerned. He says everybody in the neighborhood's, you know, concerned about people being in places that they don't belong. No, they're not. They're not concerned. They just don't want us here anymore. So some people in the neighborhood don't want us here anymore. Around Nancy's, they don't want us to record in front of Nancy's house anymore. And that's, for me, I believe that's very few neighbors. I don't even think that's the majority of the neighbors in the neighborhood. Although that doesn't really matter, because all it really takes is 1 or 2 complaints, and then that probably just does it. But it seems like Nanos just has more filter for the people that want to do harm to the people that are helping than he has filter for this entire case. You know, it just seems that way to me. I don't know. I think he has so much on his hands. I don't understand, what's the point of taking the time out to enforce things like this. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. You have a lot to fix. You got a lot that you messed up. You got a lot that you have messed up that can't even be fixed. Why are you doing this? Why? You've already affected the entire sheriff department at that. Now you want to affect the community. Now you want to, affect the YouTubers and, who's ever trying to come out here and push public awareness. What are you doing? Nanos, this is crazy. This is dumb. And I can't wait till they get this guy out of there. Seriously.
So yeah, just make sure you're out here on the roadway and not doing anything that's going to get you in trouble.
Okay. We'll do. We'll do. No, that's it, man. You guys been cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no. We tried
So,
it.
I mean, I'm sure you guys can't answer anything I would like to ask, so that's all for me.
You're talking to two guys who don't know much. So
No. Oh, okay.
So yeah, he asked me if I had any questions, and I told him, I'm sure that you guys can't answer the questions that I want to ask, and that's what he told me. He said, I'm talking to two guys that don't know anything. Straight up lied.
There's this guy. Yeah.
For me.
You're talking to two guys who don't know much. So.
No. Oh,
Talking to two guys who don't know much. Really? I mean, you work for the sheriff department, and y'all don't know nothing? Y'all don't have no insights? That's why I didn't bother asking, because I knew you were going to lie anyways. Yeah, we're not buying it. We know y'all know something. Just like Sheriff Nanos knows something. Stop.
So that's all for me.
You're talking to two guys who don't know much. So.
No. Oh, okay.
As far as
okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So,
all right, man.
that's it for me. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
But anyways, cool guys. Like I said, they were cool. I didn't get no tickets or anything like that. I'm allowed to go back, so we'll probably be back there tomorrow or sometime this week. But most likely, I'm going to try to get out there tomorrow. But if I don't, I'll definitely be there for sure on Thursday. But yeah, that's crazy. Just crazy day. I'm actually exhausted after all of that today, to be honest. It was a kind of sketchy, scary moment for sure. But at the time we were watching Sleuth Intuition, and we didn't get to finish watching it or listening to it. And there's been a lot of talk, like I said, about Nancy's body maybe being dropped in a lake out in Rose Canyon Lake, I think it's called. It's on Mount Lemon. And from what I'm seeing, it's a pretty deep lake from what I heard. And I was kind of just looking at some pictures that were that they had on Google, and it looks like a fairly good sized lake for sure. From what I heard, it's about 44 feet, and it's about 7 acres of lake. So yeah, kind of crazy. Just did a little bit of research. But the thing is, here's the thing for me. If Nancy really got taken to this lake, and let's just say she went to the bottom, because I believe statistically a body would sink right away if you would throw it in the water. Upon doing research, remains would also sink. The only thing that wouldn't come back up would be if she were to get burned into ashes. Otherwise, if she was cut into pieces, and I hate to talk about it like this, then those remains would come up the same way as if she was a whole person. So that's the thing for me. I think she would have came up by now, and that's probably why they're not probably gonna even bother going down there, because if there was a body down there, it would have came up. I don't know if there's incidents perhaps that, sometimes when you throw a body in water, it doesn't come back up, but it says typically in 2 to 3 days, a body comes back up to surface. So with that being said, I'm not certain that this is true. I don't know if it's real. Also, Nancy's house is about an hour and some change away from this lake. This lake is on Mount Lemon, and it's 7,000 feet, high. And then the water's 44 feet. That's deep. That's crazy. But yeah, Nancy's house is a good distance away. So they would have definitely, which is not, it's not long at all. It's only an hour. But if they, let's just say they did take her. And I was just kind of looking through just a little bit. And I believe I could get to this mountain without going through any intersections. I've done it before. So there is a way to go through some of these roads and without going through any intersections. Like I said, the majority of places in Tucson, Arizona, you can go through many neighborhoods to avoid going through intersections. And I'm just saying that because, well, for the sad part is most of our intersections here in Tucson don't record, but I'm just saying if they did take this route, there would be a possibility that there would be seen on camera either in an intersection or from like a business that's close to an intersection. Perhaps they did take the road, but I don't know if I'm buying this one, guys. I don't. We're gonna listen to this video here with Sleuth Institution talking to a guy named Richard Nolette. He's stating in this video that he is the half brother of the person that was on Nancy's porch, the perp, and he's saying that guy's name, which is his brother, and he refers to him as a half brother. His name is Michael Nolette, I believe. I think it's Nolette. We'll find out right now. I'm not too familiar with everything that's been going on with this thing, but we'll get a little bit more familiar with it when we listen to this. But what do y'all think? I don't know, chat. I don't know if this is logical. It just doesn't sound like it really fits the theory. Although nothing really fits the theory because we don't really know anything. But that's a really big lake, and it's scary to kind of think about that. But again, my thing would be is if there was a body thrown into this lake, for me, there's just no doubt in my mind that her body would have surfaced by now. It's been 74 days. We just went into day 74. And if Nancy was thrown into this lake, I think she would have floated to the top by now. Whether, she was still, her full self or she was cut into pieces, there would have been body parts or something floating to the top. If there were any human in that lake or any human remains. So that would be my argument. And as far as we've heard, we haven't heard anything about anything happening on this lake. So I don't know, Chad. I'm not buying this one. Not buying it at all. I looked and did some research to see if we could, figure out what this guy may look like to see if he matches up with the perp. I couldn't find anything, so feel free to email me if you guys get a picture of the guy. And then we could just kind of compare and see see if anything's close. But it seems like every suspect we've gotten, they've all seemed fairly close, but it just never is quite that guy. So we'll see. But don't go to Nancy's house. Go in the neighbor's yards, guys. I wanted to show that video just a second ago because it's really real out there. It's really serious. Let's listen to this, though. We didn't get a chance to finish it earlier. We got to dive in. I was going to say something else, but I can't remember what it was exactly.
I'm the half brother of the guy at the front door, at Nancy's front door.
I just can't believe this. Apparently, so this guy actually, we were just real quick. This guy was actually saying that he has been trying to get a hold of Sleuth Intuition, I guess, and I don't know if he said how, whether it was in comments or he tried to email him, but he says also nobody will listen to him, and he'll talk about everything right now, so we'll just listen in. I wanted to say, check out the chat just real quick here before I start listening in. My cats are petrified of the storm too, so I get it. Okay, we ain't missing nothing in the chat. No, that was way up there. Hold on, I think somebody said something in the chat. Shannon, welcome back. Shout out to the members in the chat here. Shannon, YG, what's good? What's good, guys? Shannon says, Nancy not in bags and not in lake. Yeah, I think I'm leaning in that direction too. It's just a really iffy story. The guy sounds like he's all there mentally, and he sounds like he's actually doing good for himself. But the fact that he mentions that he is like pretty much scared and he thinks pretty much something's going to happen to him after this, you'll hear everything. It's just really twisty and turny. It's crazy. I don't know how I fell asleep to this story after listening to it again, but it's a long story, so be prepared.
I'm the half brother of the guy at the front door, at Nancy's front door. His name is Mike Nolette.
Shout out to Intuition for the video too, by the way.
M-I-K-E?
Well, his full name is Michael, but he goes by the name Mike.
Mike, how do you spell the last name?
N as in Nancy, O-L-E, T-T-E.
Okay. Now, Richard, tell me what's going on here, buddy. Please, help me understand.
Well, I was raised in a family that was really violent, but I thought was a heck of a lot more normal than this. A few years ago, I started realizing that my family is satanic and they're serial killers. And if I told you the whole story, you would never believe it. Even this is a lot to believe.
Yeah, I mean, why should we believe you? I believe you, but why should the public believe you? This is extreme.
Well, I've been trying to contact law enforcement since the beginning of March, actually, and nobody, including law enforcement, will sit down and go through the Burger Chef cipher.
So he's saying that nobody really will sit down in law enforcement and let him tell them this story. And it's a fairly long story, so I kind of understand that. Angel, big welcomes. Angels, Paul. Is it? I don't even want to try to say that. We'll just stick to Angel, man. Big welcomes, Angel. He says, I think Alex may go to Nancy's tomorrow. His chat was asking him to go. And he says, including me. Oh, okay. It'd be nice to meet you. I'll probably be out there. You guys should go together to look out for one another. Yeah, that would be dope. It does feel a lot better when he is there. I'm not going to lie, though. I do feel a lot more comfortable when there's somebody else there. But I'm good either way. But it is nice to have somebody else there. Shannon says no one's going to risk that amount of travel. There's no benefit to be dismemberment. Hey, that's too big of a word for me, Shannon. My goodness. She said dismemberment and put in bags. Yeah, she doesn't believe it at all. She says, "Wow, yeah, I don't think so either." We'll see. We're gonna dive in this video. I might miss a couple, people's chats because I'm trying not to pause it too much. So I'm gonna just try to get through a lot of this before I just start talking about things. I might stop as we go here and there, but I'm gonna try not to stop it so much because it's such a long video, and I don't want to get anybody confused and break it up. But there might be a few things we have to kind of go back on because this guy is really odd, but he does sound like he's telling the truth. Well, then who knows? It might be a bunch of bullshit, and I think that's probably what it is. We'll see.
With me, but it sounds so ridiculous, but the people that put it together made it sound really innocent and and ridiculous, so that anybody that brings it up your credibility will automatically be put into question, you know?
Mm-hmm. It sounds far-fetched. How do we understand this? I love a cipher.
Well, I mean, I'll just get right to the point. I mean, if I'm going to be ridiculous, why not be completely ridiculous?
Yeah.
My father, in the early 60s through the 1980s, worked as a FBI and CIA, what they call a wet work man. He was a person who got rid of people that they wanted. If they wanted somebody to be shut up, he took care of them, and he was a professional killer, basically. In the late 1960s, he became one of the most well-known serial killers. Known but unknown, if that makes any sense to you. Serial killers that the country.
How do you make this up? That's the thing for me. Like, at some points in times, it sounds like he's reading something when he's explaining certain things, but it just seems like it's like almost like, how do you make this up? Like, there's no way this guy came up with this crazy story. Like, and I just don't know. I don't know. It's just weird, really weird. And his father was an FBI, but he was what they call a wet work man. Like, he was a professional killer. Like, what? This is crazy.
Has ever had. My name and his name, we share the same name, by the way. I don't know if I told you, but my name is Richard Nolette Jr., and he's Richard Nolette Sr. Back then, he worked at Mare Island, and one of his nicknames was RR, because our first and middle initials are RR. Anyhow, in the 1969, he sent his first cipher to the San Francisco Chronicle, the Examiner, and one other newspaper. It was sent in 3 different parts to the major newspapers of the San Francisco Bay Area. And together they formed his first cipher, which is called the Z408 cipher. Well, 4 years ago, after a dozen years of therapy, I basically saw my name in the middle of the Z408, but at that time I didn't have all the keys to putting the whole puzzle together. I just saw that, wow, that's really unusual. My name is in the middle of the Z408 cipher. Well, sometime later, I was able to put all the puzzles together, all the pieces together to the puzzle, and in the fall of 1970, a year after he sent the Z408, the Zodiac sent something called the 13-hole punch card. The 13-hole punch card, in actuality, is it's a map. It's the coordinates to finding his name in the Z408 cipher. And the way you find it is the 13-hole punch card is set up with 2 rows of holes, like holes that were punched in the side of a card. And there's more to it than that, but the main point is these 13 holes are set up in the fashion in the shape of a trapezoid. Anyhow, he was one of the earliest members of something called the Order of the Trapezoid in San Francisco. That was a precursor of the Church of Satan, which he also helped to found, but he was the man behind the scenes. That would come in 1966. They call it the first year. Anno something. It's in Latin, but 1966 was the first year of the Church of Satan. And like I said, the Order of the Trapezoid was a smaller group that preceded the founding of the Church of Satan. Well, one of the reasons he put the punch holes in the shape of a trapezoid was to signify that, like, you know, that's to pay homage to his little group that he belonged to. Anyhow, going back to the Z408 and how it pairs up in the second section, the central section, which is...
Janice says a reliable source has stated today that the brother this man is talking about has been looked into, and their professional opinion is the brother he's talking about has nothing to do with the case. Thanks for that insight. Yeah, because this is it's a lot, and there's just certain things I don't know. Like he loses me because I don't understand certain things that he's talking about. And then when he goes on to talk about a church of Satan, he really loses me there. If there's and I'm sure there's places out there like that. That's just evil and weird.
Of the cipher. If you go to the third row down and the 10th, third row down, and then the 10th column over from left to right, you'll find an upside down T symbol. That upside down T symbol represents the mathematical symbol for perpendicular, which in mathematics.
Angel says he may even be the porch guy. Yeah, maybe he is the actual porch guy. Like that's a good point. And then Shannon says even if a body is weighed down, eventually it comes away from weight due to water decomp, and the body gases would cause body to come to surface. Yeah, 100% correct. Yes. YG says, so he is saying a government worker is a Zodiac killer. Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. And he's saying that his father, I guess, was one of those killers. I guess I'm not sure. I'm so confused in this story. I really am. It's like one of those stories you got to listen to like 3 times to understand everything. But I'm assuming that's what he meant as far as his father. I think he's saying his father was, he worked for law enforcement, and he was like, somebody who killed people, and like the people that obviously could pay for people to be killed, or however they sign people up to be killed. They went through this guy, he was popular pretty much underground. I don't know how to put it in words, but he was famous to people who like knew about him, that was in this group or a part of stuff like this, but he was unknown but famous as a killer. He was an unknown famous killer or serial killer, I guess, if that makes sense.
Is drawn out in the form of crosshairs, and that is a symbol. One of the symbols of the zodiac is the crosshair symbol. Well, at that position is where the spelling of his name, which is also my name, begins. And it is spelled out beginning at the upside down T. It's spelled out in the shape of a smoking pipe, which is supposed to be Aleister Crowley's smoking pipe. Yeah. It's a very simple shape. It's just
this isn't the guy, if you're getting it confused, by the way, guys. This is that's Sleuth Institution at the bottom right of the screen, by the way. That is not the perp at all. Just so you know, because I'll have my camera off and on. But there's a guy at the bottom pointing up. That's Sleuth.
Upside down triangle, which goes in clockwise fashion and comes back to the starting position, which is once again that upside down T, and then the last 4 letters of our name is spelled out from right to left, beginning at the upside down T symbol. It'll just say ETTE. But if you go up, you start at the R. You can find all this information on the zodiacciphers.com and compare it. If you just look at the completed Z408, all of this will pair up to what I'm telling you right now.
Can you email this to me? Because I've been trying to kind of follow up with it and find it.
Well, I mean, you can find it on the internet. It's Richard Grinnell. He's a guy from England.
Did he do that because he didn't want to give him his email or something? Or did Sleuth actually get this guy's email? Because it sounded like he didn't want to give him his email. He's like, well, you can find it.
Well, I mean, you can find it on the. Just look at the completed Z408. All of this will pair up to what I'm telling you right now.
Can you email this to me? Because I've been trying to kind of follow up with it and find it.
Well, I mean, you can find it on the on the internet. It's Richard Grinnell. He's a guy from England. Put all of this together.
And that's
And
not you?
no. He's much more dedicated. I don't know. I guess I've been really dedicated the last 4 years, but he's been doing this for many years, and he's like the source. He has all of the original copies of all the original letters and all of the ciphers. Everything is on there. But as far as I know,
So they've been emailing all day. Wow, that's interesting. Interesting.
I'm the only person that's ever solved all of this. I've got about 12 to 15,000 hours into doing all this over 4 years.
Well, you don't sound like you're on drugs to me.
Well, I'm nervous. The last thing I was
Yeah, he really doesn't.
expecting today was I'm thankful that you caught on to my letter there, because I've been trying to reach out and get a hold of somebody before something happens to me. But I was shocked, and I'm the type of person that my whole life I've been
So apparently he's been trying to reach out and get sleuths attention, and then that's what we see here. Hey, if you guys watch Sleuth's Intuition, go tell him to switch his quality to 1080p. I watch him all the time, but we need to get his quality a little bit more clear. He should be using 1080p. He's only using 720. Just thought I'd point that out. I'm not nagging the guy. I love him. He's smart. He's probably smarter than I am. But it's definitely tough to see some things because he's using 720. But he put the comment up that the guy sent out, and it says that this was a synthetic sacrifice committed by family members. Nancy was killed for her Christian beliefs and to destroy her children, most especially Savannah Guthrie. All of this was planned more than 6 years in advance and is outlined in September of 2019's Burger Chef cipher. It says this also serves as a map to Nancy's dismembered remains, which will be found in Rose Canyon Lake. 3 plastic bags wrapped in netting and weighed down. He says, deposited into deep water near to the dam under the light of a full snow moon. And as you heard him in the video here, he says he calls himself, how do you pronounce that? Monterey Spike. But his name is Richard Nolette, I believe. So that's crazy. Why does that sound like it could be real? That's what just kills me. And then when he said, where is it at? Dang, that sounds like that really, he made that make sense. I don't know if this guy's been thinking about this for the last 74 days, but maybe he's been saying this from the beginning of the case. That's what he needs to confirm. Like, when did this guy reach out to Sleuth anyways? Like, what day was it? You know, because I would like to just know for my own peace of mind to know if this guy maybe just planned all this and he was able to get, have enough time to give all this thought and make it all like make sense. But if you can make all this make sense like this, damn, you're good. Because that's terrible. If this is all fake and he's just, just bullshitting with us. But I believe they should have picked this guy up right away, right after this video. If, even if it's not legitimate, they should have picked this guy up and questioned the hell out of this guy. But where is it? It says something about weights. That's what kind of killed me. What does he mean right here? He says, Rose Canyon Lake, 3 plastic bags wrapped in netting and weighed down or weighted down. Excuse me.
Like when I was...
What does that mean? Did they make sure that they put something on Nancy so that she wouldn't come back up to surface? Because he said it's weighted down. Is he talking about weights? Like actual weights? That's crazy. And that's smart. Because you would be dumb to throw a body in any type of water and not expect it to come back up. Interesting. So they would have to go in there if this is the case, if they put, you know, obviously something heavy enough to keep a body down, which I don't know what the hell they would have used, but they definitely would have to go down there if whatever they use is heavy enough to keep a body down at the bottom of a lake. What that is just mind blowing. And it's like some of this actually makes a little bit of sense here. Maybe it all does.
The kid, there's a huge amount of trauma in my life, and one of the ways I survived was basically disappearing and being completely silent and invisible, if that makes any sense to you, as a kid. And as an adult, I'm not an unintelligent person. I graduated from UC Davis and I have my degree, but I quickly found out that I have major problems with authority figures, and the only thing I've been able to do in my life has been having businesses of my own. But I'm really uncomfortable doing something like this, is what I'm trying to get to, you know?
No, I'm glad that you're doing it. You sound like you're really in the background. You seem like you might be scared.
Well, I'm scared, but I'm also, I don't like, you know how a lot of people, especially YouTubers and stuff, like I'm the total opposite of somebody that seeks out attention. I try, like I have a 110 pound American bulldog, and him and I pretty much have hang out and have our own little I don't know, I don't want to say Ted Kaczynski cabin, but we just like
hermit life.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
we have a
Sonny Big Welcomes. No, this is not a live talking about my live. I was earlier initially because we had the police show up at Nancy's house when I was there because I decided to pee in a nearby porta potty at an abandoned home. But no, this is actually from a couple days ago. This guy is saying he's the half brother of the guy seen on the front porch at Nancy's. That's where we were watching right now. We're listening to the guy's brother. Apparently this is the brother of the guy that was on the porch at Nancy's talking right now to Sleuth Intuition. Don't know if it's legitimate. Don't know if, well, the call is legitimate. Don't know if this is like a legitimate story and a legitimate relative to the perp. So, and I didn't get to finish this last night. I did, but I fell asleep on stream. So we definitely got to get through this tonight for sure.
Life, and I watch a lot of YouTube and just pretty much stick to myself. I hang out with my dog, take him for a walk a few times a day, and I don't know. If I make it, like knock on wood, please God, I hope it happens. But in July I'll be 55, but there's a lot of, because of the trauma, there's a lot of me that is still stuck in that damaged little boy sort of frame of mind. I don't know how to explain it, but
childhood trauma takes away things that could have been. This peace that's within seems to disappear when bad things happen with children.
Oh yeah, and I don't want to get too graphic, but it was some of the worst. And for the first, I've done like 14 years of therapy, and I still.
So, Shannon said even if weighed down, skin comes off the bone in water decomp and would rise. So regardless if he was weighted down, he would still somehow manage to, or she would still somehow manage to come back up. I don't know how that would work. Maybe if we could do some research on that and figure something out. I don't know. I kind of believe Shannon, though. It sounds like something somehow, some way would still come back up, because obviously things like deteriorate underwater. Bones don't, I wouldn't say bones or, flesh, in other words. I mean, something is going to come up, because underwater, it's hard to say because I don't know much about the body, but it just thinking about the body and having the little bit of knowledge that I have, it sounds like there's some certain things that would just come back up. I don't understand how they would have weighted her down. I guess depending on how she's weighted down, maybe that could stop her from coming back up, or things on the body from coming back up. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Cannot recall a majority of the first 11 years of my life. So I had to check out to survive, to survive mostly my dad, the Zodiac. But anyhow,
tell me how this leads us to Nancy right here. All this information that's in this comment. You talk about dismemberment, nets, and all of that. I mean, it sounds like it could be legit here.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for that. Well,
I don't think the lake is off limits. I think maybe it is for all I know, but I think they did close it down for a period of time and made it off limits because they were using it for certain things that they had going on, I guess. But I don't know. I've been to Mount Limit. I've never been to any lakes up there. I know there is a lake that is up there that people go and go tubing on, I think. I don't know if that's the one, but I'm not certain if that lake is off limits, because you could see when we were, just looking at the pictures,
my work,
there was actually people out there on this lake.
The other ciphers came into play when this Burger Chef cipher came up. I wasn't even going to pay it any attention. It looks like such a silly little puzzle. It looked like really insignificant to begin with. And the only reason I've been able to make any progress on the Burger Chef cipher, it's really, it looks so simple, but it's so deceivingly complex. Like, you have no concept of how difficult this puzzle has been to break. The only other one that compares to it is something from 1998 called the Scorpion cipher. And in the Scorpion cipher, I'll just share it with you. You're probably not going to believe it, but the Scorpion thank you. The Scorpion cipher lists out the highlights of my brother and my father. I call him my father, but that's another story, by the way. Before I share what I was going to share, let me just share my
Did he just breathe really weirdly? Why is he breathing like that? See, now he's acting kind of weird. Wait a minute.
I call him my father, but that's another story, by the way. Before I share what I was...
What was that about? What was that?
Going to share, before I share what I was going to share, let me just share my about 14 months ago.
What was all that about? He was doing good until now.
14 months ago, I had worked on the Scorpion cipher for thousands of hours at that time. And I was shocked to discover that I am not the biological son of the person that I'm named after. I'm actually the biological son of...
Yeah, you're right. He probably is shaking. He's probably scared as hell. Yeah, I guess I could see that. I mean, he did say that he was super, superly, duperly scared. So, yeah, highly possible.
One of my mother and father's victims, a man from South Lake Tahoe by the name of Dr. Charles Hollingsworth, who disappeared from South Lake Tahoe City on October 26th of 1970. And I presume that was the day of my conception, but
and that's something we can look up, is the Charles Hollingsworth case, 1970.
Yeah, you can definitely.
Guys, look that up. Hold on real quick. Guys, will you look that up for us and get back to us? Sorry about that, Richard.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for letting me talk, though. So up until 14 months ago, this is crazy. Like, just imagine, like I said, I'm going to be 55 years old if I make it to July. Just imagine thinking that, like, trying to come to grips with the fact that your father is a serial killer. And then out of the blue, you find out, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. Like, after thousands of hours of work, I've found out that, like, I don't know. I guess it's a good thing not to be like a full-blooded serial killer, but in a way, my mother is a big.
I almost wonder if this guy is like a big, heavy set guy, Just cause I don't know. I just, even if you're scared though, why would you be breathing like that? You know, that's why I said he'd have to be a really big guy. I don't know. That was really odd.
Big part of this whole operation herself. It's a family operations. I'm trying to explain to you guys that all of my family members, my brother, my nephew, my father, my mother, and even my distant.
I think he's saying if he makes it to a certain amount of time, like I think June or whatever he said, July. I don't know when his birthday was, but I think he's saying that because he thinks there's a chance that he may could get even killed, not just in trouble with the law, but like killed.
Relatives, my dad's brother, and possibly his family in Prattville, Alabama. Everybody is involved in this, and they have been since the 1960s. Like, this goes beyond a little family secret, you know. So I guess I've shared that part. I'll go back to the Scorpion cipher. The Scorpion cipher was sent to the host of America's Most Wanted in the late 1990s, I believe. Well, he was sent multiple letters and ciphers throughout the 90s, and what it culminated in was something called the S5 Scorpion cipher. And on the surface, it doesn't look like much. It's only there's 12 lines wide. 12 wide, so there's 12 columns, and there's 15 rows plus a wild card, which is the scratched out 14 line.
Why don't we have a picture of this guy? And why didn't Sleuth Institution request a picture? I would have requested a picture right away because I would have wanted to see, you know, actually I would have not just requested a picture of the guy that he's talking to, but I would have also requested I haven't had him sent a picture of his brother. It's his half brother. He should have a picture of him. Where's our pictures? We need pictures of this guy. We need pictures of the guy. We actually, you know what? As a matter of fact, if somebody's legitimate and they want to make it clear that they're legitimate, they'll do little things. And one little thing he could have did was even send a picture of him and his brother. I don't care what age and time that they took a picture together, but if they're brothers at some point in time, they've taken a picture together. And I would have sent them a picture of me and him and what he looks like now. Just to make clear that, like, I'm being more for real. There's just that you're being serious. There's actually little things that you're gonna do to really like make belief of what you're saying. And I don't know if he went above and beyond to do that. So I'm starting to question how far Sleuth has gotten to, you know, making this believable, since someone mentioned in the chat that they've been communicating. So yeah. Let's continue this though.
14 down is the wild card. And it really doesn't look like much, but right now I have over 10,000 hours into trying to solve that little puzzle. And I'm pretty confident that I don't have all the answers in that puzzle. There is so much, there's layers upon layers upon layers hidden in this, you know. It just doesn't look like much on the surface, but there's layers and layers and layers. And
who's the author?
I believe that my father was the main author. My uncle and my brother may have had some input into it, but the main cipher maker is the man that I'm named after.
Guys, read if you get time. If you can read it, if it's readable for you. If you need me to zoom in, I can zoom in. I think it's zoomed in enough to make out what the words say. But the two main words, the one sentence that I'm kind of focused on, like I said, was the fact that he said that this is the email that he sent Sleuth, and he said Rose Canyon Lake, 3 plastic bags wrapped in netting and weighed down. All of us, the first thing we think when somebody's thrown in a lake, we know that it's been 74 days now that Nancy's gone missing. So the first thing we think of when somebody's thrown in the lake or the ocean is at some point they're going to come back up. But the fact that he said way down is just kind of crazy to me. But then again, I agree with Shannon, because she said that regardless, even if she was way down, there'll still be things that end up coming back up. And I don't know whether that's bone or I don't know what flesh does underwater. I'm guessing it deteriorates, and that'd be something that wouldn't come back up. I don't know. I don't know nothing when it comes to the body underwater for a long period of time.
And he doesn't go by Richard. He goes by he goes by Dick. That's the name he goes by. But anyhow,
so did you grow up and you're familiar with these types of ciphers and
no,
Dick creating them?
No, I mean, the only thing that I remember from my childhood is that he had his favorite numbers, and by the way, they're satanic numbers like 6 and 666 and 36. But there was no mention of ciphers before don't answer your question completely. Ciphers or anything related to the zodiac was never mentioned as far as I can remember. But by the way, I don't want to get off topic, but I do want to point out that Rose Canyon Lake, where they put Nancy's body, is exactly 36.6 miles from Nancy's front door. And in their world, a big part of their world is numbers and
right, go back. I want to hear that again.
Nancy's body is exactly Rose Canyon Lake, where they put Nancy's body, is exactly 36.6 miles from Nancy's front door. And in their world...
Let's stop there. Remember, we pulled up the map, so let's go ahead and just double back and check. Is he correct? Did he look this up? How does he remember that right off the bat without looking at anything? Or is he reading something while he's talking to Sleuth? We just pulled up the map just a second ago. 36.6 miles, exactly. He just said it was 36.6 miles. Okay. So either he looked this up, or hell, maybe he was even with him, or maybe he is the guy that was at the front door. Let's continue. It's getting interesting.
A big part of their world is numbers and alignments and like, what do you call it? Like when I guess alignments is a good word, but there's other words for it. But anyhow, the number 36
like the stars, the alignment of the stars and things like that.
Yeah, well, like the
as
full
above,
moon.
so below.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. And thank you for saying that, because even in the ciphers, that's reflected in all of their ciphers. The top works along with the bottom, and the left works along with the right, because one of the descriptions for this, there's different forms of Satanism that they've practiced, and one of the general descriptions is called the left-hand path. And anyhow, that's reflected in the cipher with it communicating from left hand to right hand. So if you...
just real quick, I just wanted to show you guys this real quick here, because Shannon was the one who mentioned it here in the chat. And I did a little research just real quick. It says, and I asked Google, I said, will a body still come up if it was weighted down? And it says, yes, a weighted down body will often still surface as the body decomposes. Bacteria produce gases that build up inside, making it, I don't even know how to pronounce this word, making it buoyant. I don't know how to pronounce that. Y'all know what that says. But it says, while weights like chains or anchors can keep a body submerged initially, ocean currents or the force of the bloating often overcome the ballast, whatever that means, bringing the remain to surface, according to the forensic researchers. That's what Google said. So even if she was weighted down, it seems like I said, something would have came up, So I don't know.
Everything is set up on a grid system. So like in the Scorpion cipher, there'll be 12. It's 12 wide and 15 tall. plus the wild card on line 14, which is scratched out, but is sometimes used and is sometimes not used in the wild card fashion. But if you just imagine a grid pattern, all of the characters in all of these ciphers, whether it be the burger.
No, body in pieces is not different, YG, because it also says the same thing for remains. So if there are remains that are in the water, they still float up to the top the same way as if Nancy was whole. So perhaps they cut her up in pieces. There will still be body parts that come up to the top, according to Google. Don't quote me on it. I just did a little research, and it does say, I also looked that up before I start the stream just to see, because I'm thinking all of these things, They say the only thing, for the most part, that I discovered was that it wouldn't resurface to the top is if they were to burn the body and get rid of her ashes in the water. We know that's not going to come up. That's just going to disappear at some point in time.
Chef or the Scorpion cipher, each character falls on a set of coordinates, and basically if you put numbers, for like the Burger Chef, it is 17 from left to right and 20 from top to bottom. There's no wild card in the Burger Chef. Basically, you can number 1 through 17 from left to right, but you also have to number 1 through 17 from right to left. And the same applies for top to bottom. It'll be 1 through 20 from top to bottom, and then 20 to counting down to 1. Do you get what I'm saying here?
Is that why you believe this was created in 2019 and it took 6 years for them to plan this and come to fruition?
No, I mean, the actual publication date is on where you find it online. It'll show you the date right there. It was published in September of 2019. So it's not up for question or speculation. It's on. You can find it online, and it was published in 2019. And two of the reasons that they published it in 2019 was the 50th anniversary of the man that I called Dad, Dick Nolette. His hooded attack at Lake Berryessa occurred in September 27th of 1969, and September of 2019 marked 50th anniversary. But that was only part of the story. I recently found out.
Leah says not if she is way down by boulders or bricks or cement, etc. Read the top. It says that she is wrapped in plastic bags, dismembered, put in the netting, then laid down. Yeah, but still, I don't know. It just doesn't seem, I don't know. It seems more logical to me that something would float up, just because there are things like deteriorating, like bones and stuff. So I would only assume that whatever she's well, let's not even put it that way. I would only assume that it's shrinking, like something's shrinking. So I mean, I guess they would just have to wrap it up to the point where, nothing could come out, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand the whole thing when it comes to like bodies being underwater. So I don't know. But it says she was put in netting. So wouldn't like whatever it is that's like, at some point, whatever it is that shrinks, perhaps, wouldn't that go through the net? Wouldn't there be certain things that make it through whatever they wrapped her up in and make it to the top? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
That the form of Satanism that they belong to most recently is something called the Temple of Set. And the Temple of Set was founded by one of...
first name Richard, last name Nolette, I believe.
Sorry if I call him my father. I might fall back to that because in my brain I still equate Dick to being my father.
Sure.
But anyhow, Dick was one of the original founders.
I want to hear him say
in the back. Anyhow, call him my father. Founded by called the Temple of Set. And the Temple of Set was founded by one of sorry if I call him my father. I might fall back to that because in my brain I still equate Dick to being my father.
Sure.
But anyhow, Dick was one of the original founders in the background of the Church of Satan, and Anton Zandor LaVey was the front man, and he was a really personable guy and really did a lot for increasing the membership in the Church of Satan. But my father was the real deal. He was the killer in the background. Anyhow,
real quick,
yeah.
before we get too far, if FBI is listening right now to our conversation, how can they find Dick and Jack right now?
Well, you mean Dick and Mike?
Or yeah, Dick and Mike. I'm sorry.
Well, Mike lives at the family house in Napa, California. It's the second house on the right on Heather Lane. It's 4012 Heather Lane. And I've been in contact with the sheriff. I've been in contact with the FBI. I've been in contact with even the detective from Pima County, who was too lazy to write out the cipher. Like first day I called him and I told him to follow along with all of this. Like, would you be all right with just copying all this into a piece of graph paper, like, into the little squares? And he said, yeah, no problem. And he called me back the next day, and he didn't do that. And
good one, guys. Says, Juice, are you staying awake? I'm joking. Yeah, yeah, because last night we did not make it. Yeah, we'll make it through this one this time, because I won't be on too much longer either. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna make it through this one.
But part of it was part of the conversation went south the second day because I got sidetracked and started talking about some of the things in the Scorpion cipher, which I should not have done. I got distracted, and the more I talk about this stuff, the more unbelievable and more far-fetched. Like it's a pretty difficult story to believe,
Well, there's a lot of
Juby, big welcomes, by the way. I don't know if I said that right, but Juby says, is this guy doing this to bypass Tommaso and Annie? Is he a destruction? Good question. I don't know. I just don't know how you make all this up and make it all make sense. That's what gets me the most. I really don't understand how this guy is like coming up with all of this, and I just wonder how long. Like I said, my biggest question would be, what day did he reach out actually to Sleuth and whoever else he tried to reach out to? Because I'm hearing he also tried to reach out to JLR too. So, I mean, what other, when did he do this? Because I just want to know how much time he would have had to come up with this story if this story is made up. But it just sounds like a lot of the stuff that he's saying, like he's talking about his father, and it just is like certain things kind of make sense. It's kind of weird. But then again, just due to what happens to a body underwater, it almost is like, I don't know, bro. Do you really know what you're talking about? Like, is Nancy really at this lake? Because I think something would have floated the surface by now. I mean, it's been 74 days, but according to what he's saying, pretty much that there's no way it would have floated back to the top because it was wrapped in a netting and it was weighted down. So the story is insane. This story is crazy. I mean, even him thinking of all this, he should probably consider just like becoming like an author and like writing a book or something, because this is good. This is good. Whether it's real or fake, it's good. It's like, bro, no way. But there are things that he's talking about that are definitely believable, but I just need to see photos. If anybody has photos, send me an email. It's in the description. I want to see a photo of this guy so bad. I mean, this is crazy.
People out there that they think you're just kind of making it up, but I'm listening to you, because there's two ways that this could be true. One is that it could be true and it's a fact, and the other way is that it could be true in your own mind.
Oh, so yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
the guy.
you see how Sleuth hit him with that, and I think Sleuth is leaning into his own mind type of way. It's almost like Sleuth is leaning like in that direction, like of saying like he doesn't want to say it, but he's just kind of giving him the the alternative kind of in a way.
Is that it could be true, and it's a fact, and the other way is that it could be true in your own mind.
Oh
So
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like the guy in Fight Club, or the or what was it, Kevin Spacey in what was it, K-Pax, the movie?
Yeah, both good flicks, by the way.
Yeah, but but I should be dead. Like my shrink used to always tell me, I was with my last shrink for 12 years. She used to always like just try to compliment me in amazement, like, how are you, like, basically, how are you still alive? Like, I've been through that level of trauma, and when you get put in, when any person's brain has to survive that kind of trauma, that kind of delusional, it can have that kind of delusional effect where, like, a person can make up their whole reality.
So you're saying it's possible?
Well, that's what I'm saying right now. Is that when I share this story, that's what most people are going to think. Like, this guy, like this poor guy, like, he just needs to take a nap and take his pills, you know?
Well, the only way to remedy that is to give law enforcement something tangible. What can we give them? Because it sounds like you really want Nancy to be found. I
do, and I want Nancy to be found, not just for the money, but the Burger Chef cipher is a forecast for murder for 4 particular people. And as far as I know right now, at least 2 of them have already been murdered. And this year is a special year in the satanic calendar, especially for the person I called my father, because he's supposedly in not great health. He would be 84 years old coming up in May. And this year, because the year ends in a 6, the June 6th is the you know how they like the 3 6s. June 6th is one of those quote unquote special dates in their calendar. But I feel like I'm not finishing some of my thoughts completely. Like, well, going back to why the Burger Chef was released in 2019, I don't know if I finished that thought. The number one reason was, like I shared, the 50th anniversary of the Zodiac's attack at Lake Berryessa, which made him quote unquote infamous. The second reason was because on the 1st of September of that year, the founder of their church, their particular church of Satan, which is called the Temple of Set, his name was Michael Aquino. Michael Aquino passed away on the 1st of that year, and all of the evil planned in the Burger Chef cipher is also in homage to their founder, which they call their father, Michael Aquino.
And Mike, does he have like a cleft lip or anything going on with his upper lip or anything like that?
Not that I can remember. No, you're talking about, we got to distinguish between Michael Nolette and Michael Aquino. Michael Aquino was the founder of the Temple of Set, who passed away on the 1st of...
No, Mike Nolette.
Yeah, he's referring to Mike, and he's asking about the cleft lip because obviously the perp in the video kind of looks like he has a cleft lip, I'm assuming. I don't know, or like a weird odd lip. So I think that might be why Sleuth is asking him that.
Yeah, Mike Nolette, no, but he does get his what do you call it? His eyebrows waxed and stuff like that. He's really particular about his grooming, and that's another thing that's really pissed me off is everybody. One of the reasons they committed the crime down there, and the reasons that they've sent the letters suggesting that the Nancy was seen in Mexico. All of it is to gear it towards this being a Hispanic man that's committed this crime. And my fear is that I don't know if you guys agree, but I've seen some of this in my life. My fear is that they're going to pin it on either some criminal or some random Hispanic person. They're just going to say, like, you know, oh,
is this Mike? Can you see the screen? Is that Mike there?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't, to be truthful with you, Mike and I do not have a relationship, and we have not spoken in literally decades. So
it's only the ciphers that bring you to Rose Canyon Lake. You don't have anything solid or anything tangible.
Well, I can tell you.
What can we present?
Well, I can tell you.
That's what I was saying. Like, he needs to, like, at least have a picture with the guy, something, like, you know. And Sleuth is pretty much getting at that. Like, give us something, bro. Give us something. I mean, all of this stuff that you're saying that you, like, it just, you got to make it make sense here. You got to make it true that you're actually, like this guy's relative. There has to be some type of past that you guys shared as kids or something to prove that you really are related to this guy, and this guy is the actual perp on this video here. I mean, let's just continue because it's getting kind of good.
That's my brother at the front. The front of the Nancy's thing, because my father used to make us fight several times a week in the kitchen. That was the quote unquote entertainment in the growing up in the house. And I'd bet the house, my dog, everything on that being my brother, because a brother knows how a brother moves, especially like we've literally boxed for years of rounds. Okay. like
you just know it's him.
I know it's him. And also, as you're showing the video, Mike has a former very bad neck injury and an injury to his right leg from a motorcycle crash that happened about a year and a half ago. His right hand is little bit deformed. If you see how it's like in a claw shape, and you see how
that's interesting.
And
we talked about all of this in the video too. But a lot of us either said something was wrong with the hand or it was possibly swollen. And then there's also like a slight little limp as he kind of walks over to the strub. We've analyzed and observed all of this for sure.
And did you see how swollen his hand is? He has, I guess you call it neuropathy, because he's had bad discs in his bulge, like discs that should have been operated on years ago in his neck, due to being in a bad auto accident like 20 or 30 years ago. Anyhow, at least in his right hand, you can see the effects, the neuropathy in his right hand from the damage in his neck. It's weird as you're showing this video too. In the family, they call him Bagger Mike, and I never they try to say it's because they ride Harley Davidsons, and I guess Bagger is a kind of motorcycle or something. I don't know much about motorcycles, but they try to ascribe it to the fact that it's related to motorcycles. You have to understand, these people are sadistic beyond most people's ability to comprehend. Like, it goes way beyond even anything you've even seen in a horror film. Bagger Mike is an inside joke. Okay. Bagger means it has to do with the dismemberment of bodies. He has been the bagger for decades. He's the bagger in the family. He's the person that likes to cut up human bodies.
Is that what's in that backpack?
I cannot say with 100% certainty. I would be lying to you if I said. I wouldn't bet my house and I don't own a house, but if I did, I wouldn't bet my house or my dog on it. But I'd say I'm 60 to 70% sure that a third of Nancy's body is in that backpack right there, because they had this plan.
No, he did not just say that right now. No, he did not just say that right now. I don't know if I can listen to this anymore. This guy's pissing me off. I mean, and it just sounds so awful. Oh, it's bothering me. I'm not even gonna lie. That almost made me go in tears right now, guys. I can't cry on stream tonight. We're not gonna cry on stream. I mean, I don't care. I'm not afraid to cry in front of nobody. But damn, that just hurt my feelings. That just hurt. That hurt. Why would he say that? God.
This attack on Nancy is in fixed, but if I said I wouldn't bet my house and I don't own a house, but if I did, I wouldn't bet my house or my dog on it. But I'm more than, I'd say I'm 60 to 70% sure that a third of Nancy's body is in that backpack right there, because they had this attack on Nancy planned for over 6 years. One of Dick's sayings is, he always likes to quote unquote get his money's worth. And, I always attributed his violence towards me as just, like that he didn't mean it, because as a kid, you want to think that you have some sort of safety in your family. I didn't know what a sadist was. I didn't know what a sadist was until the last dozen years, maybe, of my life. Anyhow, it's only over decades that my brain has been able to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And now I know when my father said, sorry, he's not my father, but the man I called my father Dick, when Dick would say, like, I'm going to get my money's worth. I had no idea, that he's a full-blown sadist, psychopath, and a serial killer. And anyhow, like, you have to really watch closely what these people joke about. And one of the things, like I said, one of their little jokes is calling him Bagger Mike. And I think
Sharon, big welcomes, by the way. I don't think I said hello. From what I've heard, from what I heard, there was blood in the house, but I don't know if that's true. So I don't really like to say that. But I did hear that there were rumors that there was blood in the house, the same way that there was blood on the porch. But yeah, I guarantee for sure that could have. I guess just thinking about it, that's definitely some bullshit, because it's very hard to see the bag, though. But I think there would be blood. There'd probably be blood. Obviously, there'd be blood on the bag if her remains were in the bag. But then again, possibly not, because not only does he have on gloves, but he could have wrapped those in the bag before he put them in the actual backpack. But there's no blood on the porch at the moment in time of the video, which doesn't make any sense, but it is a possibility. But the fact that I've also, sources say that the blood that was found on the porch not only was Nancy's, but there was still oxygen in the blood, which means that Nancy was alive when she was taken out. We don't even know. We haven't confirmed if Nancy was, taken out to the car or just anything really. We don't really know the actual details, but there's just no way. I don't know. It's not clicking here as far as that being any, I guess some remains in the bag. I would obviously assume that all of her remains wouldn't be in the bag. There's no way 150-pound lady is fitting in a cheap Trail Ozark backpack. Just no way. That backpack would have broken, and then not only that, just there's no way a full body is gonna fit in a backpack. Not possible. I guess you would have to cut it up in very, very small pieces, but even then, it's just gonna amount to be too big to fit in that bag. But that's just overthinking it. I don't know, because we don't know if there was any other perps there. There's just a lot of things that we can't say to even say this guy is even lying, to be honest. But I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. But that just hurt, the fact that he just had that thought process. That kind of hurt. I was not thinking that at all. I did not expect that. That was just highly graphic for sure. Like, my goodness.
Mind is in a little bit of shock because on your video here, I have it muted, but it keeps replaying the backpack thing, and I'm like, it just makes me want.
If you're noticing, I'm kind of trying to pay attention to his emotion, and I'm trying to pay attention to just kind of how he's not how he's talking. Right now, you remember in the beginning, he seemed very nervous, and then as time went on, he seemed a little bit more nervous, and he kind of seemed shaken up, like as if he had like trouble breathing, and he was just really worried about getting in trouble for this. Now it seems like he's more comfortable with having the conversation. You see how you notice how he's kind of laughing now. So I don't know if I like the fact that his emotion is changing a little bit so far, but we'll keep listening.
Well, it makes me want to vomit thinking that her, like, the third of her body, there's a very good chance that a third of that poor old lady's body is in that bag, you know?
Well, right. And also, because Sky says at the end of the guy's conversation, he says something about wanting the reward. Yeah, and he mentioned that he wasn't just doing it for the reward. He said that, because Sleuth mentioned that he obviously cares about Nancy, and he made it clear that he does, but also he made it clear that he wasn't just here for the reward, that, he just wants also, he cares for Nancy. He wants them to find her body. He wants them to find his half brother, I guess, if that's who it is. Since that's who it is at the front door in this video, according to him.
Yeah, I had that thought actually yesterday, and I didn't even say it on the stream. I was just trying to figure out what could have caused the blood spatter there, and maybe it was a bag, filled with body parts even.
Yeah,
just the way that Sleuth is like talking to this guy, and like certain things he's trying to put out there but not directly ask, is telling me that he's not buying his story. There's just certain things that Sleuth is giving away that's like, yeah, he's not buying this. He's not buying it.
Well, I don't see any leakage from his backpack, but they say that all the colors are inverted in the in this kind of video, and like even I heard somebody say that the backpack is supposedly black, which would make sense. Going and doing something like this in the middle of the night, But yeah, as far as like where the answers are all in the ciphers. And to explain
real quick, because man, Shannon, I'm not Shannon, Sharon's going off in the chat. I appreciate you in the chat tonight. I'm just gonna kind of sum it up. She's saying that Brian Ensign said inside the person told him that Nancy's house did not even look like it had been an attack or a struggle happened in her home. I talked about that several days ago, and that's I don't get me wrong, I love Brian Ensign, but that was one of those things that I was like, you know what, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. There's no way you're gonna go into an 84-year-old's home and have no issues whatsoever. So y'all believe that there is perhaps a chance that Nancy was willing to go? Because I don't. And there's certain statements that Savannah made to me that kind of made it clear that her mom could be feisty, and just looking at Savannah, she shares that. Like, she definitely has a feisty side. Like, so I don't think if I were to go in, Nancy's home or Savannah's home, neither one of them would be willing. I mean, just to seeing how this is on television when you got to be professional, and Savannah's obviously being professional, but she will get under your skin. Like, she's feisty. She's feisty. So outside of that, she's even more feisty. And I think she gets that from her mom. I do. Don't quote me on it. That's just my spec. But I truly think that if Nancy got to talk to these guys at all, she definitely did what she could to give them a hard time. There's no doubt in my mind that Nancy did whatever she could to give these guys a hard time, if she even got that chance. But I just think that was bullshit. I'm sorry. I don't think that they didn't struggle, at all. I mean, I'm personally not going to struggle if it's just me and the lady that's 84 physically, but if I'm there for business, we're going to do business. And that means if I'm there to harm somebody, that's what we're going to do. If I'm there to physically remove them from the home, that's what we're going to do. Like, I don't know. I don't see them grabbing Nancy by the hand and her just willing to go, unless there is the theory where people think that Nancy just answered the door. And because she answered the door and opened it, that would have obviously gave them, an even easier an opportunity to just take her or pull her out the house, whatever they needed to do, if they needed to use any type of physical force. But just seeing the blood, to me, tells me that, and that blood is coming from out the house anyways. At least I think so. So to me, that's not a nosebleed. I would argue it's not. To me, I have to say that there had to have been some sign of some type of struggle in order for blood to end up on a porch, because that's where they came out of the house. I think they went out the front. I don't think that Nancy went through the garage. I do have my days, don't get me wrong, where I think there is a chance that Nancy was, taken out of there when she got kidnapped through the garage. I don't see them trying to take her out through the back and then through the front, or just through the back, period. But there's that possibility as well, because these guys could have been concerned about being seen. But then again, for what? Because they removed all of the cameras. So I don't know, guys. This story is crazy for a reason. And it's just so hard to put things together. Like I always say, I cannot wrap my finger around something for me to feel like I'm like, that's really a fact, because tomorrow, or even a couple hours from now, my theory may change. Like, it's just so hard, but some of us are really confident in the way we think about certain things that happened that night. So I can't hold you to that,
Even to explain where Nancy's body is would take between an hour and 2 hours, and even law enforcement doesn't seem to have the patience to sit. You would think they would.
Do you want to go through it at another time? I have about only 15 minutes left here. Would you like to get together later tonight and actually take the time to go through it?
Yeah, I would. Actually, I didn't sleep much last night. If there's any way we could go through it late tomorrow, it would be even better.
Sure. Are you able to email me at sleuthintuition@gmail.com?
Let me write that down. By the way, what is your name?
Patrick.
Okay. Let me. Could you give that email address to me one more time, please, Patrick?
Yeah, so the name of my channel, Sleuth Intuition. And that will be at gmail.com.
Thank you. And you know how you could help me out is...
One thing I have to say, though, is, guys, the internet is powerful. Don't put nothing past the internet, for sure. We're going to get a picture of this guy one way or another, and we're going to get a picture of the guy he's talking about, which is Michael, whatever his name is. We're going to get a picture. We're going to get a picture of this guy one way or another. And I just can't wait to see what Sleuth Intuition comes out with next, because, I mean, obviously, like right now, they're exchanging emails, and he's gonna, somebody mentioned in the chat that they're communicating and they're talking, so he's definitely digging up information. He's digged up more information already, I'm sure. Whether or not that these guys reported this to the FBI, I don't know, but I'm sure Sleuth did. Shout out Sleuth, man, for the work. I mean, he just came down here and he's already digging up stuff. Whether it's valid or not, at least he's making the effort to really dig up stuff, and this is dope. This is cool. I mean, this is what we want. This is what we're trying to do. This is what may help bring Nancy home, and it doesn't matter if this is real or not. It does matter if it's real or not, because it's crazy. We've already been down so many rabbit holes with this investigation. So the last thing we want is to go down another one of those and end up at another dead end all over again. So that's why I think a lot of people are entertaining this. The guy said that he did try to go to law enforcement and they weren't taking him serious. They wouldn't give him the time and day to sit down with law enforcement and tell his story. So yeah, I mean, this is crazy. I just can't wait to see what happens moving forward with this, or is this going to be one of those incidents that's brought to some of our attention and then we just kind of look past it and just forget about it. I think a lot of us are leaning in that direction, but you never know. I mean, this story is, there are certain parts of the story that are highly questionable to me.
If we could, maybe we could do a partnership on this. I've never done a
And then it just really seems like this guy, he just really seems like he wants money. I just can't believe he just said that right now. Like, you're trying to help out a case right now and bring justice to the family, closure. Yet you're talking about money or partnering with Sleuth on YouTube, trying to take the little bit of income that he's going to make off of this video. Are you kidding me? This guy's dumb. Yeah. It almost feels like he might have been the one that did the ransom. But I'm not buying this story. He did good, though.
Thank you.
He did good.
And you know how you could help me out is if we could, maybe we could do a partnership on this. I've never done a YouTube video before, and I never planned on even this is a huge stretch for me, even talking to you like this.
Well, you did plan on it, buddy. You did plan on it. You know why you planned on it? Because you said you've been trying to reach out, and you've been trying to reach out to not just Sleuth, but multiple people. So you did plan it. I don't know why he's lying all of a sudden at the end of this video, but it just seems like this guy it's a bunch of bullshit.
I was wondering if we could do, could you put a picture of the Burger Chef cipher up there? Like, not with, if you find it online, it'll have a picture of cartoon characters and stuff, but I'd like to stick to just a picture of the letters themselves.
You told me zodiacciphers.com. If you want to email me something that you think is more preferable, I could put that up on the screen while we're talking.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
Wait a minute. What did he just say? Is this guy like leaning in the direction of like not trying to send any pictures to Sleuth or what? What's going on? What? Hold on.
I'll just find a copy.
I might have been confused there. Let me hear that one more time.
Just a picture of the letters and they're stretch for me. You've been planned on even this is a huge stretch for me. You've been talking to you like this. I was wondering if we could do could you put a picture of the Burger Chef cipher up there? Like, not with, if you find it online, it'll have a picture of cartoon characters and stuff, but I'd like to stick to just a picture of the letters themselves.
You told me
why would he be worried about that right now? Oh my God. It's like this is what's giving it away right here, the fact that he's thinking about that. And initially, like I said, the guy was super, super nervous in the beginning, but now he's like thinking of all the things that he wants, because now he's like, it's almost like he's fantasizing on maybe getting famous off of this. That's what you're thinking about right now? You're not even thinking about your freedom, bro? You're a clown. You're an absolute clown. Straight up. He's a clown. That's crazy.
zodiacciphers.com. If you want to email me something that you think is more preferable, I could put that up on the screen while we're talking.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'll just find a copy of the Burger Chef cipher. I'll send you one with the little there's little cartoon character adornments that go along with the whole thing when they publish it. But the cipher itself is what I'd like to focus on. So I'll send you pictures of both, though. I'll send you pictures of both.
All right, I appreciate that. Before we end this conversation, what are the most details that you can give us right now? Because I guarantee you the FBI is listening to us. How can they go right now and do what they need to do? You gave the address. What about Mike? Where's Mike at?
That's a good question. Mike could be out there killing people right now as we speak. He basically I think he assumes that he's going to be caught, and at any moment he might be caught. And when somebody has
how does he assume that if you just said not too long ago that you haven't talked to Mike for years? I think he said, didn't he say like 10 years he hasn't talked to Mike? So how are you aware of exactly what Mike is up to?
thing to lose, like when a sadist, when a sadistic psychopath has nothing to lose, just imagine what they're capable of. Like he could be out there racking up bodies, was what I'm trying to say. I'm not even exaggerating. He could be killing women. He could be killing children. Right now, there's a missing woman from Oakland that just disappeared a couple weeks ago.
Well, he travels. You're saying he travels around.
Oh, they've killed people all over the country, but Oakland is only about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on traffic, away from Napa, and he could very easily have been involved in the disappearance of that woman. I'm not saying he is or he isn't. I don't know. I have no idea, because, you know, like I said, the ciphers are what I stick to, and that is not something that's mentioned in the cipher. But I'm just saying, at this point, you know, these images are out there of him. I've been talking about him, and the more that he feels like the walls are closing in, I would imagine the less he feels like he has to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's being cornered.
Yeah, and that's a very dangerous person. Like, you don't want to corner.
Name of the channel, because I see some people asking in the chat, is Sleuth Intuition. Go check him out. Great guy. He's been doing, I don't know how long he's been doing crime, but he seems like he's been doing this for a little bit. On the smaller side, YouTube wise, man, he's been great. I've been pretty much following him pretty much since day one of this Nancy Guthrie case for quite some time. That's for sure. I don't know when he started covering the case, but I want to say around that first week of the case, I was already in tune to this channel. We've watched him already on my channel several times. Good guy. I actually met him 5 days ago. He came by Nancy's house, and we actually met one another. So good guy. I mean, he seems like a really smart guy as well.
You don't want to
and good job to him for the questions that he asked. I mean, he did a really good job with this interview that he did with this guy, for sure.
A dangerous animal, and these are the most dangerous animals of all. Okay,
the apex.
Well, I'm not even exaggerating, Patrick. This is as bad as it gets, and it seems like the sheriff from Pima County will not do anything. The FBI will do nothing. And what would it cost to send a few divers into this little tiny lake? It's basically, yeah, thank you. It's 60% full right now. At when it's completely full, they say it's 6 acres in size.
It's 44 feet deep. That's nothing.
Yeah, well, that's only by the dam, though, and the only place that the body is going to be found is somewhere in deep water. The cipher says near the dam.
I think I might be able to correct that. I believe it was 7 acres, not 6. So that tells me that he's not currently looking at the computer at the moment in time, but it sounds like this guy did do a lot of research. Just because, remember in the beginning of the video, he stated that it was exactly 36.6 miles away from Nancy's home. So something tells me this guy looked this up, or he was looking it up right like as he was talking to Sleuth. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. I mean, this guy's full of it. He could have even he could have even like got a little closer to the miles. Like, he could have just said 36.8 or something. He could have just said about 35 miles, you know, instead of saying the exact miles. Because then it's almost like he's putting himself in the situation too. But at the same time, we all know this guy did his research and he's putting this together. The fact that he said that he wants like the little cartoon characters, you know, as far as like, I don't know if he was referring to the caption of the video. I'm guessing he's talking about the thumbnail of the video with the cartoon. I guess he wants the cartoon characters around the burger thing that he's talking about. I don't know. I just don't think he should be thinking of any of that right now. He should be thinking of his freedom. That's what he should be worried about. He should literally be breathing hard and worried about the FBI knocking at his door right now. Or not even right now, at the moment in time of that actual video. Or I think it was actually alive. Yeah, he should have been worried. I would have been worried sick if I was him. There's no way he's telling the truth. Ain't no way. No way at all. I'm not buying it.
It says repeatedly by the dam. So the way I look at things, you put 2 or 3 divers in there, and in one day they'll be able to do a thorough search of the bottom of the lake bed there.
I agree with you.
So, anyhow,
anything else helpful, Rick? Any vehicle types? Why? Well, real quick, why Nancy? You mentioned something about the snow moon, and then before we get out of there, just help us with any identifying, vehicle types, anything like that.
Well, they drive. Well, I told you they like to drive the Harley Davidson motorcycles, the big touring bikes, but also they drive large off-road 4x4 pickups. I believe one of them is white, and then they also have a black.
Charlotte, what's going on? I'm not too sure. She says too much misinformation in the chat. I am out. Not too sure what happened with Charlotte. Much love, Charlotte, if you're taking off for the night. Sorry you were misinformed.
Smaller SUV type of vehicle. I don't know exactly what make or model that is, but that's all I can remember right now.
Right, and why wouldn't you? YG says he gave their addresses in Napa on live. Yeah, why would you do that if you have the email of the person that you're talking to? You reached out through email. He finally responded. So you already know that you're able to give him personal information like that. Yeah, there's just certain things that are not adding up. It was well thought, but not thought through well enough. This guy's full of it.
And then going back to why they killed Nancy. Nancy was targeted for her religious beliefs. These are satanic. My quote unquote family is satanic, and Nancy and her daughter have been really outspoken about their Christian religious beliefs. So that was the main reason that she was targeted. But also the reason that they never wanted Nancy's body to be found, and they never wanted answers to be found for any of this. They wanted it to be left as a wide open mystery, because they love feeling smarter than everybody else. And the way they do that is by fooling everybody else. And do you see what I'm saying? Like if nobody, yeah. If nobody ever figures out the answer to the puzzle, then that proves their intelligence to them. That's like, and they get a big, that's their hee-hee, their entertainment. They laugh at the world. They cause all kinds of pain, and they sit back and watch the world, and that's their form of entertainment. But going back to why,
real quick, well, if what you're saying is true, they may have gotten away with this, and it takes somebody with the courage that you're showing today to stop that.
Well, thank you, Patrick. It's weird how your courage comes out when you feel like, I feel personally like I'm cornered and they're coming after me, because I am also mentioned. I'm one of the 4 targets in the Burger Chef cipher, and that's why I've been trying to speak out to law enforcement for months now, literally. And I just recently started posting on YouTube. I'm so thankful that you picked up on one of my posts, and I never thought it would turn into something like this. But like I said, I'm super, super private. It makes me very nervous coming into the light with something like this. But also I believe in God, and I believe somebody needs to do something. Otherwise, these people are just gonna, who knows, keep doing this for another 10 years,
Yep, absolutely.
But before I forget to mention it, Patrick, I guess I started to talk about it, but
Sharon Hunter says we are all on the same page. That that these are two different perps in these videos. The one that goes to the doorbell that looks like question mark with the light contact eyes, swole hand, gait issue. Did you say gait issue? I'm sorry, I'm trying to bring it up because I'm looking at the chat at a different place. She says swole hand, gait issue. Some say LD. Not too sure what LD meant. I'm a little slow, but are you referring to the photo when you're saying two different perps, or are you referring to what he's talking about?
Destroying Savannah Guthrie was one of the main objectives of killing her mother. They did not want her to be found. They did not want any answers being out there as to what happened to her, and especially they never wanted her body to be recovered. And without any of those answers, what they were hoping for is that Savannah would fall into probably alcoholism, drug use, and eventually, eventually.
So in the photo, because I'm actually the one showing this photo that I'm showing right now is not on Sleuths. I'm just listening to the video and kind of showing photos casually here and there. But in the photo that we are seeing right now, you guys are feeling like that's two different people. Is that what we're talking about in chat? Because I'm a little confused as who you guys are talking about in regards to there being two different peeps. Are we all on the same page? The perp look different than in this photo that I'm showing right now. Yeah, I think the perp looks definitely different for sure. But at the same time, I think it's the same guy. So I don't know, because that picture on the right is so pixelated. So I don't know. It's a big possibility that it's the same guy. I don't know what to think about that. Hey, good morning, Michelle. Thanks so much for stopping by. Good morning.
What they wanted to see her whole life implode, her career, but their ultimate goal was to see Savannah Guthrie, her faith destroyed, her life destroyed, and hopefully to see her take her own life.
In Christ's name, in his namesake, for his namesake.
Well,
that's why they targeted Nancy.
Well, yeah, but they wanted to destroy every part of her daughter, though. Like by leaving a wound that had no answers and no resolution. If Savannah never found out the answers to this and never found her mother's body, it would just be a downward.
Chaos, I'm not too sure about that one. I don't know if they ever found a homeless guy who rides around wearing a, is it, God, his chat just goes away every time. It says, Bala Calva? I don't know what that is. Over by where Sleuth and the rest were searching. Yeah, I don't know about that. Never heard about that. So I would not know at all. Not too sure. I didn't see anything like that at all.
A downward spiral.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's true. The not knowing is the worst part.
It says, don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, indeed. If you are tuned in right now, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. If you're enjoying the channel, subscribe, guys. We've been a pretty good growing channel lately. So more to come, more to come. I'm new to crime. I always say this because I like to let people know that, I got a lot to learn, and, I'm in for the long haul.
Yeah, exactly. But these people wanted her to eventually end up taking her own life. And that, I mean, that there is also outlined in the cipher.
I'm sure that's why she's back at work, because the FBI human behavior analysis folks probably told her that you need to get back to work because they want to destroy your career. They want to destroy your life. They want you to be miserable.
Yeah, well, I respect her strength and for even trying to
Absolutely.
do that. But it has behind her smile. Just imagine that.
Hey, Robert, just subscribe to the channel. Much love, Robert. I appreciate it. Yeah. Big hellos to Connor here in the chat, I believe. Is it Connor? Is it Pommel Connor? Pommel Connor? I'm so bad with names, guys. Jeez, I need to just get better at reading names and reading, period, man.
The torment that she must be going through, you know?
Absolutely. And they know it. What about the ransom? The ransoms and all that? Is that just part of the staging?
Well, the letters and all of that are they're like a red herring. They want to distract, and like a lot of the letters they mention, like that Nancy has been seen in Mexico, and they want to distract and to redirect the attention. That I think what they're trying to do is to put this on a Hispanic male. And they're hoping that some Hispanic male, maybe somebody that is already sitting in incarceration in a jail somewhere, that they pin it on them. You know, somebody else is going to take the fall for this.
Which happens. False confessions are real. They happen all the time.
Wow, Ground Sky just became a member of the channel. Thanks so much for becoming a member of the channel, Ground Sky, man. Much love, guys.
Well, yeah, exactly. But people get framed all the time too, and people don't realize it's more common than people think. I never thought that it was this. It's pretty prevalent. Like a lot of law enforcement, like especially with something like this case, they just want it to go away. They just want to pin it. They want to close the case, and whether they get it right or not, as long as they can say like, "Hey, we did our job," and you know, Jose is our guy. You know.
Yeah. And it's believable. I mean, it's very believable. Right there by Tucson.
Yeah, well, definitely.
There's by Mexico. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a high Hispanic population down there. So, I mean, it's that's where my mind would go first. And then if you look at my brother's eyes.
Shannon. So I'm sorry. Sharon says the side by side. Yes, looks alike, but if you take the left side and the pic of the perp when he comes up to the camera, looks totally different. I'm detail oriented. You know, I like the fact that you brought that to our attention because, and this could be the reason why a lot of us think that the perp is Hispanic. Because when I look at the photo of the perp, and actually, let me see, we can maybe just pull that picture back up just real quick. It might help us to know what we're talking about here. Let me see if I can find that picture real quick. But to me, there's a moment in time, and I'm trying to figure out which one it is, so I don't want to get this wrong and have it opposite or, you know. But there's one point in time with one of either the picture or the video that I feel like the perp is white, because I keep saying the perp is not Hispanic. People keep saying he's Hispanic, but I don't think so. I don't know why. I just get a vibe that, not even a vibe, I just see a white guy behind the thing, and the guy on the phone with Sleuth, to me, sounds like a white guy. But in this photo right here, to me, if you ask me, he looks white. He doesn't really look Hispanic to me. I don't know why. Some people say Italian. You know, I've also heard of some other nationalities as well too. But I don't know. I just think he's white. I'm not seeing Hispanic. It's maybe the way the beard is. Maybe the mask is just so good. One thing I could say that seemed like it could have possibly been true that this guy Richard is saying is the fact that the eyebrows. He said that Michael would always get his eyebrows done. And remember, a lot of you guys thought that it was a female in the video that we saw, which is, I mean, that could be one reason why a lot of us did. Although I never thought it was a female. just based off the like certain characteristics and how that person carried himself, you know, leading up to this perp walking up to the doorbell. So I just wasn't seeing a female at all. But as far as this being a different person, because you said the one on the left, then the person in the video, I don't know about that. It still looks like the same person to me, because if you take the video and the perp, they look exactly identical. Just looking at this video here.
I've heard it said before. I think it's true. A lot of Hispanic people, like, they're into the grooming of their eyes and their eyebrows. And
that's
my
true.
brother,
That's definitely true.
My brother's unusual in that he does that. I can even tell you who he used to go to in Napa. It was a girl named Michelle. I think her name is Michelle Maynard. That's probably the same person that still does his eyes right now. Like,
wow.
Napa's always been in sort of a small place, but he has a small group of close friends that they really stick together, and I don't think they're involved, but only insofar as that she does his eyebrows and his hair and stuff. But
what time's going to be good for you tomorrow? We gotta look at this cipher and let's see this whole thing through. I know the FBI is probably already acting right now to go question your family. Hopefully.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's a thing too. Believe it or not, Patrick, my family has strong connections to law enforcement, and
is that why they're not listening to us? I mean, it's extremely frustrating.
But I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, he did mention in the start of the video that his family and him, or he has issues with law enforcement for whatever reason. And then he went on to say that the only thing that he doesn't have issues with is like the fact that he owns, I guess, several businesses. So I take it this guy is somewhat successful. I don't know, or maybe he's just on his own little personal side businesses that don't really do much. A lot of people call themselves entrepreneurs now, but they don't really have successful businesses. So I don't know what he meant by that, or what he does exactly, or if he mentioned that. I might have missed that. But yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they're just trying to cover it up and they're just trying to give him a pass card on this or what. But it's not going to stop me from talking out. You know, I have to do what I have to do. And if you told me 3 days ago I'd be doing this on your show, I'd say no way in hell, because I'm not the public kind of guy. I think I told you that to begin with. You know, I'm just a hermit or recluse who hangs out with my dog. Usually my dog and I that's the most, well, I can't say that. I like talking to people. I don't trust people, but yeah. Well, I mean, I've had a lot of chaos in my life, and a lot of that is my own doing. But I decided 6 years ago when I got my place here that no girlfriends, no chaos, nobody's going to destroy my place and my peace, you know. So yep. It's worked for the last 6 years, but maybe I'm making myself out to sound more of a hermit than I am, because I do enjoy talking to people. I just so much has happened in my life that I don't really trust people, if that makes any sense. I like people, but I don't trust most people, you know.
I agree with you. I'm the same way. I don't trust anybody.
Well, thank you for understanding. But that's where my love of dogs comes in. Like these, I don't know. Talk about a Oh, awesome! What kind do you have?
They're all mixed. They're all rescues, all of them.
Those are the best.
Yeah,
though.
And he did mention that.
My guy right now, I call him an American Bulldog, but he's
Thanks for reminding me. Yes, that's 100% true. He did mention that his family, or his dad, actually worked for law enforcement in the beginning. He probably doesn't trust law enforcement. Who knows? He made my brain go into overload, Angel says. Yeah, this guy's this is a crazy story. It really is, guys, and it's hard to. It's like you want to overlook it, but at the same time, you want to report it just to be sure. And it was crazy just to see how Sleuth was so sure that the FBI was listening to the stream at that moment in time. And I agree. I mean, I would have called them right. I mean, I would have called them right after we got off the stream or right after he spoke to this guy. Because he could, there is a possibility that he is telling the truth, but for me personally, I'm calling it bullshit. That's all I'm gonna say for right now. I don't really know. You know, there's just some shaky moments within some of the things that he said that I definitely could give some thought, you know, and take into consideration that there's a possibility this guy knows something.
That's what they call them at the pound, American Bulldog. But you know, the bully breeds,
that's to get them out the door. You know, that's the selling point. Like,
well, yeah, and you don't want to stamp them with the thing pit bull. Once they get stamped with the pit bull, then you have a hard time getting. Yeah, well, people discriminate. Whether it's legal or not, they'll. It makes it harder to get housing and everything So I'm glad that glad they called him a American Bulldog rather than a pit bull, you know. But yeah, how does 6 o'clock tomorrow sound for you?
6 p.m.
Yeah,
that sounds perfect.
Hey, Stand Deliver, Mary, big welcome. So glad you're okay from last night. Bless up from New Zealand. Yes, much love. I appreciate you checking in on me.
I'm on Pacific time. What are you?
I call it Arizona time because we're funky here. So basically Mountain Standard Time. It's 1:30 here now.
Oh, okay. It's 1:30 here too.
Okay,
but what was I going to say? Are you near Tucson?
I'm in Phoenix. So yeah, I'm like a 2-hour drive away. I was just in Tucson this weekend.
Oh, cool. I had no idea.
Angel says, please. I just want to read this real quick here. Please take us to Nancy's again later today. I keep the chats moving, so it's hard for me to put my hand on this. It says, please take us to Nancy's later. I'm just curious, when do you sleep? Do you work hard? You work hard. Thank you for covering Nancy. Man, much love. I appreciate it. Yeah, we lose sleep covering the Nancy Guthrie case. But I usually sleep about 3-4 hours a day. I'm somebody who could run off of like 2-3 hours of sleep and feel like I slept for 8 hours. I'm just like that. I've always been like that since I've been a kid. But yeah, tomorrow I will do my best to try to go out there to Nancy's. I'm pretty sure I'll make it out there tomorrow. But like I said, if I don't make it tomorrow, I'll be there for sure on Thursday. But there's nothing that I don't think is gonna stop me from going to Nancy's tomorrow and hanging out for at least like 2 to 3 hours. I'm hearing Alex is gonna be there, so I'll try to catch him out there. But yeah, what a story from this guy, guys. What a story. I think we're almost to the end of it finally. We made it through this time too because I fell asleep. But yeah, I do work in the morning. I do got to work in the next 4 hours. I know, it's crazy, right? So I know I'm going to be probably looking forward to getting off soon, but we definitely got to finish this story here. I don't know if you emailed me, Sharon, but I don't see it.
Well, I've seen your videos up before, but I cannot tell you how shocked I was when I was just scrolling through my I don't know what you call it, your feed or whatever, like your choice of videos this morning. And I saw my writing on your what do you call the
thumbnail?
Yeah, the thumbnail. And I was just like, part of me was like, yes, and a part of me was like, oh no, no. Yeah, because
I just love the way he's so comfortable. But initially, at the beginning of this interview and midway, he was so uncomfortable, and it seemed like he was so nervous. But as time went on, he got so much more comfortable. Now we're like toward the end of this whole discussion that him and Sleuth had, and now he's like laughing and really thinking about, like, I don't know, just along the way he's thinking about how he wants the thumbnail and just little stuff like that. It's really throwing me off, and it's making me kind of feel uneasy with this guy, which makes it even all that more interesting because it's kind of weird to me. But then it also makes it seem like he's just making up a story and it's just bogus. But that's just me, though. Chaos says, anyone want to get together and write down things he said and try to find out where he contradicts himself and other things like that? I only have my phone, not a computer, but I'm invested. Hey, just putting the message out there, man. That sounds like a good idea.
It's like, I don't know. It's just
I'm listening, and I'm not just listening. I'm listening everywhere. Spiritually, my gut, my mind, I'm listening, and through my prayers, I believe, hopefully, you're not out of your mind. I don't know. But hopefully that's why, discernment. I was able to discern that what you're saying could possibly lead us to Nancy.
Well,
it's
thank
really
you.
Not, it wouldn't be that hard to just follow it down either from law enforcement to go check.
Yeah, and the great words of Sleuth, if you watch Sleuth Intuition here, and the great words of his, because he has these little words that he likes to use, and one of them is nocturnal. We up all night, man. We up all night.
Well, exactly. Like
is all me.
Like going back to the lake, there's only less than I doubt very much that they had the time to take a boat and put her remains out in the middle. So what you're looking at is basically just the edges. In my mind, there's less than half an acre close to the edge in deep water that her remains could be,
Mm-hmm. What makes you think that they're separated that way with the net and then weighted, or is that just the MO?
Oh no, that's all spelled out repeatedly in the Burger Chef cipher, and it's repeated, top, bottom, front, and center, everywhere. The word net is used 3 or 4 times. The word the abbreviation for weight.
This Burger Chef cycle thing is just throwing me off. Like, I don't get it. I do, but I don't. I don't know. It's just throwing me off.
WT, and in other forms, it's mentioned 4 times. Weight is mentioned 4 times. Net is mentioned 3 or 4 times, and it mentions the dam. There's a little fishing dock. It mentions that, and it mentions the word playa, which is beach. So I think it's somewhere near the dam, though. It's in deep water, and half the lake is shallow. It's a really small lake to begin with. It is shallow water.
Is he talking about the body?
It mentions that, and it mentions the word playa, which is beach. So I think it's somewhere near the dam, though. It's in deep water, and half the lake is shallow. It's a really small lake to begin with. It is shallow water. They would not have put it where she would be found. So, like I said repeatedly,
I mean, it's a good spot. It's a good spot too, because nobody's allowed to be in that water. No boats, no diving.
That's very perceptive of you, Patrick. Thank you so much for mentioning that. And I think that's one of the main reasons that they put her there, because nobody is supposed to go out there in a boat. Nobody's supposed to swim in the lake. There's not supposed to basically
no diving. No contact with the water.
Yeah, exactly. No human contact. So one of the big things that these people get off on, that they just delight in, is hiding in plain sight. And so just imagine them for years, like knowing that their body, that her body is in that lake. They would probably just take special fishing trips. They could go to much better places for a fishing trip than that little crappy lake. Sorry for my French.
Just sit there and relive.
Insane. Yes, I currently do. I do have a Discord, as well as a Discord server that I need to make arrangements on. So I won't give you the server. Maybe it'll pop up still, but I do have a Discord. I don't know why that's not in my description.
Live it over and over and over while they're there.
Exactly. And that's what my
Sadism. There you go. There's the
well, that's what the
sadism.
person I called my father, Dick, would do when we were kids. I did not know about his attacks in the Bay Area, but guess where we would go most weekends where we had to go fishing. I mean, a lot of the times I enjoyed it, but
I love
guess what?
fishing.
Yeah, me too. But guess where we went to? Either the Mothball Fleet, which is at the end of Lake Herman Road, where he shot a couple kids. So we'd either go there, but most weekends we would go to Lake Berryessa again and again and again and again, Lake Berryessa. And I can't tell you how many times, like I'm just guessing, it's been so long, but that's one of the few things I can remember of my childhood memories. And, like I said, a lot of it I did enjoy, but some of it I did not, because this is a man that could, basically everything could be fine 1 second, and then the next minute you're having the crap beat out of you, and you're trapped on a little aluminum boat. So there were also some really horrible memories from fishing too. But anyhow, Lake Berryessa, we would go and get our bucket of minnows, and I don't
Stand and deliver Mary. Yeah, I would say just send me an email for now. I don't have a set spot on Discord yet that you could put your information in. So I would say just email me. I will put my Discord in the description once I find it. But server wise, I haven't really made any arrangements on Discord for you guys to like put something there. But I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, because I definitely will make sure that we could do something on Discord. Not only that would be a good place that I could also start taking calls on, is Discord. Man, thanks for bringing that up. Forgot all about Discord. Wow. But I do have a Discord. I guess I could put it in the chat if you want to. Feel free to send me a friend request on Discord. I don't know if you guys can see this actually. It's I do have a name on there. I don't know how to find it. I haven't used Discord in so long.
know. That was one part I didn't really like, but you gotta fish the minnows out of the cold metal bucket, and then stick them through their back behind their little dorsal fin, and they become the bait. But but I never, in a million years, I never knew that any of this about Dick's history, about like I said, up until 14 months ago, this is the person I thought was my dad. And oh, by the way, one thing you should know, this is going to sound crazy as hell, but my brother is close friends with the guy in Napa who is I don't know if he still is, but for a long time he was a sheriff coroner, and his name is Jesse Ward, Jesseward. And in 2008, he enabled my father to fake his own death, faked the autopsy, faked everything.
The coroner's report?
That was a year. Yeah, everything is fake. He's still alive.
But what I will do is here, when I on the Discord server, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll work on that tomorrow. I'll put a place on there for and I'll list it under crime, and then obviously put Nancy Guthrie, and give us a place where we could all just kind of put our information in there, share pictures, videos, and whatnot. Dang, what a good idea. Thanks so much for that. I think it was Sky who said that.
And if you ask me tomorrow, I can give you the website on where Dick writes daily. It's,
hey, Stand and Deliver Mary, welcome as a member. I appreciate you becoming a member of the channel. Big shouts and salutes to those becoming a member tonight. I appreciate that. Stand and Deliver Mary. Much love.
It's a thing called ZodiacKiller.com, I believe. He writes under a pseudonym called RUBISLAW 32. And every day he writes some sort of
is that Masonic?
Well, there are 32 or 33 degrees. I think you hit the nail on the head there, right there. But also he did some murders. I'm trying to remember the dates on this. from 1974. In 1974,
thought
he
somebody was supposed to be sending me an
abducted
email.
and raped and murdered some girls in Rawlins, Wyoming. And the name Ruby Slaw 32 is basically a word scramble for Rawlins. I can explain that more to you at some other point, but one of the letters, I don't remember exactly which, he flipped one of the letters, but it's for Rawlins, and 32 was the number of years between his attack in Rawlins and this other attack that he did on campers in Oregon in, I believe it was 2006, the summer of 2006. So believe it or not, this took me forever to figure out, but there's a lot of connections between
I'm not buying
shapes.
this story at all.
In Satanism, shapes have power and angles have power. Well, he's been killing since 1954. Dick has been killing since he was 12 years old. He started in Maine. When he was 12 years old, he killed a 12-year-old boy, and that's in the Scorpion cipher. In Rawlins was in 1974, the summer of 1974.
I'm not gonna lie, like right here, it like almost sounds like he's reading. I don't know why. I feel like he's at certain moments at times of this, he sounds like he's reading, and then there's just some stuff that he's adding to his story that's unnecessary to me. But there also are things that he's talking about, you know, surrounding his story that make the story make even more sense. So it's just really odd, though. It's really odd.
32 years later, he attacked campers.
But as time goes on, guys, we're going to find out. We're going to figure out what's going on with this guy and whether or not his story that he's telling is legitimate, just because, you know, well, for one, Sleuth Intuition is in contact with this guy. They've already rearranged the time to get together. He chose 6 o'clock today, actually, I believe. No, that was the day after this live, I'm assuming. So I don't know if Sleuth's updated the community at all as far as, you know, what happened moving forward after they had this big conversation and he told the world that his brother or half-brother was on that porch the night Nancy went missing. I don't know. I don't know if the sheriff has talked to this guy. I wouldn't put it past them that they did. I'm pretty sure they talked to this guy. There's no doubt in my mind they were at this door within minutes after this interview. I think they were already ready and waiting to hit this guy's door. They just wanted him to say more. And they just wanted, you know, they obviously wanted to get all the information they could possibly get. And this guy sat up here for over an hour telling his entire story, claiming that he didn't get the opportunity or no one took him serious to sit down and have a conversation with some type of law enforcement. I don't even know if I'm buying that, but there's just certain things that's the problem. And this is probably why they didn't want to waste the time sitting down with him, because like I said, there are just certain things that solidify you as like being a brother or, you know, just some type of relative. Just the certain things that he's saying isn't proving, you know, his story. You know, like the fact that he just doesn't want to show his face to me is makes this story fake for sure. Like anybody that's coming out and opening up is going to show their face. They're not going to try to hide their face. And for most certainly, like they're definitely going to show the face of the actual suspect if they have a picture or they, you know, actually know this person. No one's going to avoid the necessary stuff that is very, you know, telling in the story. That's the problem for me. And, you know, if I'm going to come out, he's had plenty of time due to being ignored to think about how he wants to prove the fact that his story is true. Instead, it sounds like he spent more time thinking about how he was going to get his plan on how he was going to get $1 million. Perhaps he thinks he's going to tell this false story and they're going to give $1 million to the wrong person. Not happening. It's not happening because I'm not buying it, and I'm sure FBI agents aren't dumb enough to buy this story, but it seems like he sat there and contemplated on a master plan. That's what I'm getting out of this. And it seems like his plan, it's not working. It's not working. And to me, if you ask me, it's not going to work. And the fact that he's more interested in a thumbnail and one other thing, the fact that he's no longer nervous in this call. I'm not feeling the nervous vibe anymore. I never really did, but somebody brought it to my attention that he was nervous, so I considered it. But I'm not, there's just certain things that are not adding up for me that need to add up before I actually believe this.
In Oregon, what's it called? Something Oak. I want to say Twin Oak or something Oak. Oak Ridge, I think it's called. Oak Ridge, Oregon in 2006. He killed the 2 campers and their dog. The dog's name was Caesar. Still pisses me off. Anyhow, that was the 32 years, but all of these things have angles, okay? And he was also responsible for, there's a murder of I think it was a year later or a year before the Oregon murders. There was a murder of 2 hikers. It was a mother and a daughter in a place called Pinnacle Lake, Washington. Well, believe it or not, this is going to be really hard for you to believe. He has set up a grid system to where there's equal distances between.
Yeah, stand in the living room area. I could say the same thing you're saying, because it's just one of those situations that you just never know that he could, stand in the living room area says he could possibly be the ransom note taker. Yeah, there's a possibility. YG says that smacking is ill. Angel says, oh, she's talking to Jalen. Let me not read that. The doc says, after hearing the call yesterday, I did some brief research. I went searching for missing persons near Rose Canyon Lake and found 2. Wow. Wait, you found 2 what? Chat's moving just a little bit, so I'm looking at the chat through my OBS, but it's too small, so I can't really hold on to the chat. So let me pull up the actual chat, sorry. Angel says Sleuth is meeting with the guy tomorrow and on Monday. Wow, so we're going to dig deeper for sure. Well, Sleuth is, and we're going to figure this out by the end of this week, I'm sure. Or beginning of next week. Yeah, I just hope maybe in the next call, I agree, Michelle, that he's going to show more proof. Sky says he was telling us he was raised by killers, but he isn't one of them. Yeah, right. I know. I feel the same way. It just isn't making any sense. Because you're going to have some of that DNA in your blood somehow, some way. If everybody in your family is a killer and you're not, I mean, you got to have something going on with you. You're not going to be the perfect normal person in the family surrounded by problematic family members that commit highly high crimes. No way. I feel like if he was surrounded by a family like that, he would be forced to do things that he didn't want to do if he didn't mention that. He probably did, because this story was long. Golly, and we're still not through the whole entire story. I was supposed to get on for like an hour and 30 minutes, and it looks like we've been going for about roughly 2 hours, so I went overboard. Man.
Queen.
Robert,
a murder that he did in Oak Knoll, California. Basically, it's a part of Napa. It's just called Oak Knoll Road. and that was another place that he would take us fishing all the time. Going back to the mid 70s, I think it was 1976, he worked at Mare Island, and he murdered this woman that served as the front desk gate person. She was an officer. He abducted her from her front yard in Napa, and I believe he put her body in somewhere at Oak Knoll, which is one of the places he took us fishing at. So I'm trying to hold this all together. If you can picture a huge and how all of that works, but I know like the distances, it was very intentional and very premeditated in the way that he murdered people in specific places. And I'm not saying that applies to all of his murders, because I think most of them were just random, crimes of opportunity, especially when Dick was younger, but there are some that are specifically very premeditated, and they were committed. You want to sign off for now, and I'll email you.
I will set aside some time so we can get together. That way we can get it all out on the record.
Because of certain locations, this type of, I don't know.
I really want to make sure that we meet up tomorrow, 6 p.m. And if for whatever reason, I'm not expecting you to bail, but I just want to make sure you're okay. If you could email me and let me know, like, hey, if we could reschedule, but I'm going to set aside some time so we can get together. That way we can get it all out on the record. And if somebody can make sense of it and it's above, goes above my head, at least it's out there, it's in the public. And if somebody wants to verify it, that's a little bit smarter than me, maybe they can.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if any of the law enforcement even want the truth to come out, to tell you the truth, Patrick. But also I have encountered just to be frank, the subject of laziness, like a lot of explaining or understanding these ciphers. It takes a lot of time. There's no way around it. Like, it just takes a lot of time to even explain like where they put Nancy's body or why they put her body there, Yep. But all right. Well, thank you so much. Do you want to sign off for now? And I'll.
Yeah. He says that dad isn't his biological dad. Yeah. He kept saying sorry for saying father. And then he, not only that, he mentioned his name like 3 times and didn't even realize he mentioned his own name. That to me was a given away sign of being nervous, but there's just some moments throughout this video where he wasn't really nervous, and maybe I could be wrong and just overthinking it, and he was just trying to show that he had a sense of humor, perhaps. I don't know, but I mean, this is a crazy story. Try not to overthink it. I just feel like it's just going to be another one of those stories that came up during the Nancy Guthrie case that we're just going to end up just like not even thinking about by next week. Or it's just going to be one of the stories that make it out to the entire media. And we're going to be chasing another, we're going to go down another rabbit hole and run into another dead end. I just don't think we're going to get anything from this, but I could be wrong, so I'm not going to just ignore this, and I'm going to keep an eye on this thing, and hopefully Sleuth is able to like dig a little bit deeper, because I mean, this story is just so long and crazy. Like he said, let's put it on the record so somebody else on a professional level can make more sense of this. I mean, that's the best thing to do. I mean, that's a long story, and I had to skip up a little bit of the end because it was just too long, and he was just elaborating on other things that I didn't feel like was relevant to him just giving us the perp. I feel like that should have been his motive from the start, when he had this conversation with Sleuth. As far as the information he gave amongst his family and how they are and saying that they're serial killers, that was necessary. But the thumbnail and all this extra stuff with cartoon characters next to a burger or something, all of that to me was irrelevant. And that's what, like, there's just certain things that just threw me off. And then there were certain times where I felt like he was almost reading something well planned, but this guy's just not fooling me. And it just sounds like I said, he wants the money. He wants the money. Not, I mean, he said that he wanted the reward, but also he wasn't, he's just here for the reward. He wants to also bring closure to the family. He wants to help. He cares about the case. And then he also asked that he could get some of the sharings from Sleuth from this video. But when you're dealing with something like this, you would think somebody would be more in fear of their freedom instead of worrying about trying to get some type of, income from a video. And it seems like he's almost convinced that he's going to get this reward. But he's not fooling anybody. He's just lying to himself at this point, because he's definitely not going to fool me. My goodness. What a story, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by and tuning in with your boy tonight. I appreciate those of you guys coming through and popping up in the chat. Hey, big shouts and salutes to all my members tonight. I appreciate those who decided to become a member of the channel. I'm new to crime, a lot to come. Hey, stay tuned, man. We got more to come. Hey, I want to invite everybody to come out and tune in with me tomorrow. We'll be at Nancy's house tomorrow. We'll be talking and covering the Nancy Guthrie case. So stop by. I'll be live. Hopefully we don't have any police contact, and if we do, it'll be on a positive note this time. Yeah, because we all know I dang near got a ticket today. Damn near went to jail, it felt like, but I wasn't going to jail. We all know that. But I decided to go pee in a porta potty at a vacant home, and I got the results today. So, hey, we won't make that same mistake again. And I want to be able to still, go out there to Nancy's home. So I don't want to ruin that at all. But I hope y'all have a very good night, guys. I got to go to sleep. I work in 4 hours, so I got to get some type of rest. Thank you all. I appreciate you all. You guys are all wonderful people. And it's been an honor tonight talking and speaking with everyone. Much love, guys. I'll see y'all in the next one, peeps. Y'all have a good one.